Hey guys and ladies, Ramsey here. Welcome to another live stream. So, happy Sunday. How is everybody? Actually, hang on. Let me, don't go anywhere. We just started. Let me just flip on the lights real quick, shall we? All right. What is going on? How's everyone doing? What's going on a Sunday? Oh no. We have a tragedy. Actually, we're going to have to delay the beginning of this because I've got to go get some hydration. Don't go anywhere. Oh, all right. I'm out of breath. Going up and down the stairs. Woo! Had to get this. The most important piece of the live stream, the hydration. Could you imagine Rich Mitch doing an entire stream with no hydration? Woo! Hey guys, Andy, welcome, my friend. Did you ever go on Eugene's stream and show off your collection? Because if you didn't, you should come on mine and show it off. I'd love to see your collection, brother. I got to catch my breath. Whew. I ran downstairs, ran upstairs. Oh, the hydration is with me, though. All is right in the world. What are you guys wearing? Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. I really love the support you guys give me. Andy, what's up, brother? Ajay, good evening, my friend. I wore an Areej Dore. I just uploaded a video, actually, on my scent of the day, which was Indolis. Have you guys smelled this? Look at the color of the juice. It's like dark green. It's good. I've enjoyed it. It's not my favorite Areej Dore, but it's good. I think I did the review justice, even though it's my first time ever wearing it or smelling it. But I have enjoyed it. Sorry, I was just reading a message from the great Amouage. Good evening, GMG. Welcome, welcome. How's everyone doing? What's everyone wearing? Scent of the Night Vintage Opium Eau de Parfum. The Secret de Parfum. Is it the Secret de Parfum? I love the Secret de Parfum. My collection is so disorganized. That would be cool, though, man. I don't really care. I think it'd be cool to see some other folks' collection. Today, we're going to smell Chameleon. These are 4 more zoologists I've never smelled before. We're going to smell Chameleon. We're going to smell Cow. I love the image of the cow. Just mother cow at the ranch making milk. We're going to smell Koala, who looks like a working man a little bit. He's got the sunglasses, ready to go to the office. And we are going to smell Elephant, who looks like he's ready to get in a Rolls Royce and hang out with a harem of women. But yes, so 4 new zoologist scents. I would love to have Victor Wong on one day and pick his brain. The amount of fragrances they have come out with is unbelievable. I'm interested to see if they're planning on discontinuing some. It has to be hard to keep the oils and everything going when you get this many fragrances going. You know what I mean? Scent of the day is the Night from Frederic Malle. Ah, beauty. Arbaz, I love it. I really love it. Oud Zen, another beauty. You guys are rocking the Ouds. I really want to wear. I really want to wear some of those old Areej Dores. Like today in the video for Indolis, it came up. Or Russian Adam told me that the Chinese gentleman who hooked him up with the oud that went into Chinese oud actually ended up gifting him some green tea from a 100-year-old tree for Indolis. It's the same guy. And just smelling the atomizer from Chinese Oud makes me want to wear this again. Oh, I love the Areej Dore Ouds. This, Oud Zen, Ottoman Empire. I absolutely love them. Yeah, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. You want to do it now? I think it'd be cool. Let's I'll drop the link and you can come on and show off your collection for a bit. I think it'll be great. I don't know if you did that previously with Eugene or not, but here. Click on the link, Andy. I'd love to see some of your collection, man. Hello, my friend. Welcome. Scent of the Night, Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. I showed that bottle off yesterday, and it got you wanting to wear it, huh? Yes, the Eau de Parfum. Do you have the older one that has the whatever this little plastic piece is here? Is it clear all around now? That is nice. A little sweet, but it's nice. That's right. Sunday live streams. I'm on a little bit of a good, I'm a very organized person. So I'm very routined. If I can get into a routine, I can usually stick with it. Problem is getting into the routine. And I have so many samples that I want to get through. And honestly, with the only way I'm going to be able to put my thoughts on video are to do them this way, where we put a bunch of them out at once. Otherwise, it is, it's just, I would probably just end up trying them myself, and I wouldn't be able to get my thoughts on paper. Wearing Aaron Terrence Hughes Carbon with cool water layered on top. Layering. A sane voice in a crazy world. Balenciaga Pour Homme. Doesn't that just ground you when you wear Balenciaga Pour Homme? Like, it's crazy how stable that fragrance is, though. Hey, Ram, hope you had a great weekend. Just ordered Boss No. 1 based on your suggestion. Excited to smell it. Also curious to hear your thoughts on reformulations. Well, I don't know reformulations, Shoegazer, because I only buy the vintage bottles. But I hear that the new stuff is not that good, like the new ones. So the one that has like the whole new bottle design, I've heard to avoid that one. But anything else, I think you're okay. I think they did a pretty decent job as far as, reformulations go. Hi ho, scent of the day, On Bar December edition by Dixit&Zak. Speaking of Dixit&Zak, Peter from Fragrance View sent me Emperor's Court by Dixit&Zak, and I have yet to even spray it. I've yet to wear it. Maybe I'll wear it tomorrow as my scent of the day and do an early impression or something. I don't know, but I would love to get to know this. But the thing is, I have time now to wear it. That's more than enough juice to wear, get to know it. It's a 30 mil. Smells amazing from the atomizer. Then this is a house that I have zero experience with, and I love experiencing new houses. So you're going to see this on the channel at some point, Emperor's Court. So shout out to Peter from Fragrance View. Maybe we can do a blind sniffing session on some of Peter's work one day, because I've got about, let's see. I think I did a couple. I think there's 4 left, which would be perfect for a blind sniffing series, actually. Let's see what we have left from good old Centauri Perfumes. Centauri, Peter from Fragrance View. We've got Homme. We've got, I already did a video on Anthea, which I liked. I really liked Anthea. That was my favorite from the brand so far, but I only tried 2. We've got Dendra, or Dendera, sorry, Dendera. We've got Gaia, Mother Earth. We've got Proxima. So yeah, we do have 4. That would be perfect for a live stream sniffing episode. And I did a video on Mirabai already. Mirabai was a little bit challenging to me. That decaying honey note in the top was very strong. I had a hard time with Mirabai, and I usually love honey, but something about just the way that the decaying honey fruit accord came together in Mirabai was challenging. But the vintage, there was like a vintage sandalwood, like a 1960s Indian sandalwood he got his hands on. And once it dried down, it was absolutely beautiful. So yeah, maybe we can do, maybe once we finish Zoologist, we can then go back and do one of these, a Centauri live stream together, do some first impressions on these 4 I haven't talked about yet. I think that would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty key. Nope, it's the Gucci Era EDP in the obnoxious plastic bottle. I haven't smelled that one. How does it compare to the Secret de Parfum? Or have you smelled the Secret de Parfum? Hello again, Ramsey. And all, I've been enjoying Satis today. Satis is beautiful. Good evening, Alan. Scent of the day, Dream House. Ikiro Damn Hippie. Never smelled it. Never smelled it, Indocene. Keep going, Ram. I'm wearing your own parfum. Ah, beauty. All right. We'll knock out Chinese Spy Oud. Chinese Spy Oud. I like my Areej Dore, but it's so, I love it. I love strong fragrances, though. So, oh my God, it's so good. Unbelievably good. Let me hydrate my eyes, and then we'll get the first one on me. Which one should I start with? Let's see. We've got Chameleon, Cow, Koala, and Elephant. Let's see what order they were released. I just kind of picked these out of the blue. Chameleon. Chameleon was 2019. I think Cow was last year, wasn't it? (2022). Yep. Koala. 2020. And Elephant. 2017. All right, so we'll do Elephant, Koala, Chameleon, and Cow, which actually works out perfectly because I'm wearing a super green fragrance, and I assume that Elephant is going to be damn green. Yep, green and woody is what it's listed. Chris Bartlett is the perfumer. Apparently, he did a couple zoologists. He also did Beaver, both the 2014 and the 2016 edition. And he works for a house called Pellwall Perfumes. Again, a couple of these zoologist perfumers work for houses. I've never smelled any of their stuff. Like that DSH perfume. I've never smelled any of their stuff. The house that Shelley Waddington works for, I've never smelled any of her stuff. Midnight in Paris, the Eau de Parfum. I have the Eau de Toilette. I've often said that Van Cleef & Arpels are absolute fools for giving that up. Fools. We've got to take the watch off today. We gotta allow some skin. I need skin space. Yep, I need skin space. Hey, Ram sent to the day, music for a while. Beautiful pineapple. I really like music for a while. Even though it's sweet, it's one of the sweet fragrances that I can stand, if you will. So glad to have a bottle. Rumor is it may be getting discontinued. Scent of the day, Timbuktu, a beauty. A real beauty. Duchefort at his best. I think Timbuktu really influenced Hermes, Terre Hermes. I can't believe I found a 500 ml bottle. I am so stoked that I found a 500 mil of tear. I'm going to wear the piss out of that. I have an older L'Oreal and it's an EDT. Now I'm wearing the EDP. Nice. Which one do you prefer? I don't own the EDT, interestingly enough. ¿Qué pasa? I still need squid. I still have not smelled squid, Daniel. That one's on the list. Hey, Eric, what's up, man? Eric, I think, found my channel recently. He's been banging out my videos. Thanks for leaving a comment when you watch one, though. I like that. Glad to have you in our little perfume community, our little fragrance town, if you will. I get to play the mayor for a little bit. Germs, you're wearing my favorite L'Artisan. Yeah, it's very good, isn't it? I actually prefer to wear that in the heat. I think Timbuktu really shines in the heat because it has that green mango thing that almost feels like it's cooling. You know what I mean? Like there's that cooling aspect to it. Happy Sunday all. Scent of the day, Chypre Siam. Ah, beauty. I love Chypre Siam. So far, it's my favorite too. Nice. I can confirm the current #1 is still pretty decent. No base as always, though. Yeah, that's part of the problem. Is without that oak moss, you're going to lose the base. But if it's still good, that's good to hear. Someone told me it was terrible. Hey, Rachel's in the house. What's happening, Rachel? Our dear Rachel. Ah, yes. Kids. Someone once told me that kids are the best, worst thing that'll ever happen to you. Hello, Wes. Campfire Nights by Alexandria. You're on an Alexandria kick, eh? Do you know the brand of Jeroboam? I do know them. Well, I know one of their fragrances. The one that I have is called... Where is it? Ah, here it is. Yeah, the one that I have is called Ligno. And actually, for me, Ligno is a great, cheaper replacement. You only get 30 mils. I think these are 30 mil extrait de parfum. So you only get 30 mils. But this is a great replacement for Straight to Heaven Extreme by Kilian's, which is like 5 times the price, you know. I think the bottle, when I got mine, was going for like $500 with the little key and the, you know, ridiculous packaging that basically you're paying for the packaging. But yes, this is, I think, a good replacement for Straight to Heaven Extreme. The patchouli note is even more amped up here, I found. And there is no booze note listed. So you might look at the note listing and think, where's the booze? It smells like there's an alcohol note in here, even though there's not one listed. But it's actually really good quality. I like it. I would like to try more from the house. This is, for those of you that don't know, Jeroboam is Javoy's sister house. And so the company that owns Javoy also owns this Jeroboam. And it's okay. I don't know. I've never smelled anything else except for this one, but I think it's good. I think it's very good. What's your opinion on Chypre Siam? I love the real oak moss in it. Electimus Capua. Never smelled it, Eric. I don't even know what that is. Chameleon. Octavian by Elect. Both of you guys are wearing Electimus fragrances, eh? I love the name Octavian, though. Chameleon first. It's not a mammal. Chameleon first, Dushan. Okay, deal. Chameleon first, my friend. Jury has spoken. Let's get this bad boy on my skin, shall we? It's a fruity floral. Oh, God. Oh, boy. And these are going to be the shitty sprayers, aren't they? God, they're so awful. I absolutely despise these sprayers. All right, let's see what we've gotten ourselves into tonight, boys and girls. That's nice. That's not bad. Let's see what it says, shall we? While it dries down, let's see what the blurb says. All right, so Chameleon came out in 2019. It was done by Danielle Peschio. Never heard of him or her. Like the luminescent skin of a reptile, fiery scales of sunlight ripple across the surface of the Indian Ocean, fading slowly to gold and finally sapphire as the sun sinks and disappears. The sea exhales its gentle tide, caressing the beach of an island paradise. The salty breath combines with the narcotic aromas of the ylang-ylang and frangipani trees in an intimate kiss, sending shivers through the branches. Something stirs. An eye pivots. A tail grips a slender bough. Will the creature vanish among the leaves or flirt with a daring display of color? No one knows. The secrets that lie beneath the skin of the chameleon keep Madagascar guessing. Top notes: bergamot, lemon, ylang, mango, pink pepper, violet leaves, heart, cashmeran, clove, coconut, frangipani, jasmine, saffron, and sea salt. And amber, base of amber, musk, sapopanax, patchouli, sandalwood, vanilla, and vetiver. Okay, so on first sniff, it reminds me a little bit of a kind of modern niche take on this. Have you guys ever smelled Kenzo Jungle Elephant? You know what it is? It's that citrusy mango opening that does it for me. Yeah, I think I actually think this is a better fragrance just off a first sniff of Chameleon. I think Kenzo Jungle Elephant is probably a better fragrance. It's also, I think, a little bit thicker, although with a name like Chameleon, you really never know. This very well may switch gears and turn into something completely different. But I think I like Kenzo Jungle Elephant a little bit more because it's kind of more of a spicy oriental. It still has that mango note, but it also has some heavier notes. Like there's licorice, there's vanilla, there's heliotrope, there's cardamom. You still get the ylang-ylang in here. So I think it's kind of a mixture of, yeah, there's ylang-ylang and mango. I think it's that mixture of ylang-ylang, mango, and there's cloves in the heart. There's cloves in the heart of both fragrances. So yes, instantly I kind of got like a flashbulb of Kenzo Jungle Elephant, but Chameleon seems to be, there's also, let's see, there's vanilla in both. There's patchouli in both. Yeah, there's gardenia in Kenzo Jungle Elephant, and in Chameleon there is frangipani, jasmine, and saffron. It gives it this tropical feel. This the difference, I think, is that even though the mango lends Jungle Elephant a little bit of a tropical feel as well, it seems to be much heavier, and the heliotrope makes it feel almost chewy, like you can chew through it. Whereas, you know, Chameleon almost feels like you take Jungle Elephant and make it in Madagascar, make it feel tropical so far. I like it. I like it. I don't think I would buy it because I already have this. And this is a hell of a fragrance, by the way, that no one talks about. Very few people talk about it. Let's say that. I think I've heard Zhao from Scented Moments talk about Jungle Elephant before. And by the way, the maker of Jungle Elephant are two of the greatest perfumers of all time, in my opinion, Dominique Ropion and Jean-Louis Suizac. Jean-Louis Suizac did Fahrenheit, Opium, Bel Ami, O.R. Black by Pascal Moribito. He basically did, you know, just a handful of my favorites. So I'm in love with Jean-Louis Suizac's work, and this is one of his fragrances that no one talks about. So yeah, Chameleon instantly reminded me of Jungle Elephant. My guess is, though, that most people, I mean, and this is all of, I think, or most of the zoologists are unisex. Chameleon is marketed unisex, but I would guess most men would not think like I do and just instantly jump to the elephant. So they probably never smelled anything like this. This is probably very unique to them. But you know, for me, it's good. I like it. I get what they're trying to do with the contrast of the you know, ylang with mango and the, you know, sea salt and tropical flowers like frangipani. Frangipani always reminds me of like a tropical island. And then the base notes are very oriental and resinous. And so that's also where, because this is also kind of an oriental. So yes, usually your first inclination is correct. And bam, this is instantly what I jump to. And the fact that there's also a animal on the Kenzo fragrance is just a happenstance, because Zoologist is all about animals. But yes, have you guys tried Chameleon? Does anyone have some feedback on it? Good evening, Kevin. Good to see you. Hello, Alyssa. I've never tried squid, but I don't think I've seen you before, so it's good to see you. Welcome to our little channel. I prefer the EDP of L'Homme Ideal. I think I prefer the EDP too. Even though it's sweet, there's something very comforting about this. That cherry almond cough syrup thing is, you know, and this is, you know, if you care about compliments or if you're looking for a good date night fragrance, this is the kind of fragrance that I think, let's say if you're younger, you know, most younger women, I think would want to smell something like that on a man. I haven't enjoyed Seahorse. That's also one that's on the list coming up still. I haven't done Seahorse yet. I haven't done Seahorse and I haven't done Squid. So, hi, I am from Malaga. Sent to the day, boss number one. Well, good to see you, Jace. I don't think I've seen you in the comments before either. So welcome. Welcome to our little fragrance town. Hey, kid. Kid Kentucky. Scent of the evening, Caesar's Man Legendary Cologne. You know, I love that stuff. Caesar's Man Legendary Cologne. I actually think I enjoy wearing this more than Drakkar Noir. Oh, it's so good. I can't believe this came from like a hotel chain. I cannot believe this came from a hotel chain. I mean, I understand that they were kind of... So here's what's interesting, just going off on a tangent real quick about the 80s, is I don't think they had the GCMS technology that they did nowadays, where they could just stick it under the machine and see exactly what's in the old perfumes from back in the day. So perfumers literally had to kind of smell and guess and make an approximation. And so the clones from back in the day, like if you take something like this, or if you take something like, this was also kind of a clone of Drakkar Noir, which was popular back in the day, Lomani Porom. They both come across smelling very different in different ways. They almost smell like flankers of the product they were trying to clone back in the day. They don't smell as close to the clones today. So like if you take some of the clone houses today, they smell much closer sometimes because they have the GCMS technology, right? And it's a lot easier to remake a fragrance when you know exactly what's in it. Back in the day, when they were trying to clone Drakkar Noir, Lomani came out smelling one way, Caesar's Man Legendary Cologne kind of came out smelling another. And it's because of the fact that the perfumer back in the day had to kind of guess. He had to kind of just sniff and make an approximation. And so these came off smelling like flankers. So I love that about the 80s. I love the 80s though. So what can I say? And I love this stuff. I'm so glad to have this. I got this from Six. Stick Schlonghammer sold me this. The greatest name on YouTube. Understandable, though, as Midnight in Paris was a title sales flop and sold at discounters. I got my bottle from Notino years ago for $24. Nobody wanted it when it was in production. Yes, that's true. However, now that it's kind of retaken off, I think they're foolish for not continuing. They should have done like Midnight in London, Midnight in Dubai. Hell, do a Midnight in Texas. I'll be the face of Midnight in Texas. I'll be the creative director. That shit will sell. I'm telling you, it'll sell. But no one listens to Ram. Amouage, Caesar's favorite cologne was Brut. Brutus? Et tu, Brutus? I must admit, this Chameleon is nice. It definitely is nice. You know, if you don't have kind of the fragrance Rolodex, if you're not obsessed with perfume like I am, and you haven't smelled all of these, you know, thousands of fragrances, and you're just looking for something nice and unique, this isn't bad. Chameleon's not bad at all. There's a good amount of contrast in Chameleon. Let me see what else this Danielle Pescio did. Holy shit, that's all he or she did. That's it. Victor Wong, if you're hanging out in the background, tell me where you found this Danielle Pescio person to do this. If this is their only fragrance, where did you find them, number one? Number two, why did you give them the chance to make a perfume for Zoologist if they've done nothing else? I mean, I like it. It's good. I'm shocked someone else hasn't kind of taken the perfumer and said, hey, make us something else, though, when they put out something like this. Did this sell for you, Victor? Are you here, Victor? Really hope you get a chance to try Spirit of Dubai second generation. Almost all of them show the same quality as Oud and Fahama, if not higher. I would love to, too. I just refuse to spend my own money doing it. Tell the brand to send it to me. I'll review them. I have a few by Kilian, but why do they almost all smell watered down? Is it just me? No, they are. They definitely got watered down, I think. My 500 ml bottle of Terre de Hermes also had a chip in one of the bottom corners, like you mentioned yours had. Maybe that's why they survived or held back, perhaps. I'm glad you got that, Michael Thompson. And you got it for a great price, too. Didn't you only get it for $300? That is a fantastic price. In the future, our 500 ml bottles are going to be worth, God knows what they're going to be worth. They're going to be worth a lot because I think Terre is reformulated. Hassan Haji, hi Ram, greetings from Belgium. Thanks to you, I purchased Portitos 50 mil. I love Portitos. Well, greetings to you as well, Hassan. I don't think I've seen you in the chat either. I love seeing all the new faces. Portitos is absolutely stunning. One of my favorite Castoreum scents. If you know my good friend Castoreum Al Manzano, this was his signature scent back in the day. And he's always fond of saying, I didn't wear vintage fragrances because I wore them before they were vintage. I wore them when they were new. You know, I wore vintage fragrances when they were new. And man, this actually came from my brother from another mother, Rich Mitch, across the pond. He bought this from Mudasir, who I trust. I trust Mudasir like no other. If anyone needs a recommendation on somebody to work with on decants or vintage perfumes or just finding something hard, you know, shoot me an email and I'll pass along Mudasir's contact information. He's been doing it since the late 90s. I mean, has a track record like you wouldn't believe. So Rich Mitch bought this from him. It went from Houston, which I was just in Houston a week or two ago, and all the way to England to the Duck Den, and now it came all the way back to Texas, and it's now back in the Ram pen, in the Ram stable, and so yes, Portitos, it's amazing. Oh, it's so good. The Castoreum, I love Castoreum. You know, this Antaeus. If you love this, Hassan, by the way, I would recommend checking out. There's a fragrance by the house of Etienne Aigner. The writing's starting to come off of this one, but it's called Silver. You can see the Etienne Aigner logo right there, but it's called Silver. And it's discontinued, just like Portitos. But it came out a couple years after Portitos. And I think it's like an easier to wear Portitos. Like Portitos graduates and gives up kind of the ghost and lets some of that Castoreum out, and you know, adds a little bit more green notes. I think there's maybe cypress in here, something I can't exactly remember. I'd have to look it up, but it seems like it's just a little bit more wearable, like a little more dressed up Portitos, but they definitely share some similarities. Beautiful perfumes though. Both of them, you can't go wrong. I love wearing stuff like this. Most of the vintage 80s stuff is better than niche stuff anyways, to be honest with you. But I like this. I'm shocked that this perfumer hasn't done anything else since Chameleon. According to Parfumo, this is it. This is his or her one fragrance. Shocking. Let me catch up on the comments and then we'll do, we'll put elephant on my right wrist. Here, let me make a note of this so I don't forget. All right, we've got Chameleon, left wrist, elephant, right wrist. All right, let me spray this bad boy while we're chatting, and then I'll catch up on the comments. God, the sprayer is such shit. Oh, very smooth green. Oh, very smooth green. Green and floral, but smooth. It's not sharp, it's smooth. Smooth is the word that comes to mind. Capua is a Tironi clone. Ah, Tironi. I want a bottle of that. Octavian is a cheaper and more wearable version of the Night. Ah, nice. Thanks for that. I've got a 10 ml decant of the Night. I really like it. I'll do a full review one day. It's really good. I don't think I would go for a full bottle at the prices they want, but it's good. And Octavian as the Night's clone, the whole house relies on cloning. Ah, okay, good to know. I almost wore Black Caviar by Electimus today. Never heard of that house before. Now you guys are all talking about it. Choose in order. Full bottle of Opus 9. Pot of Spaniard Gold. Oh, God. Raiders win the Super Bowl. Yeah, absolutely. Raiders win the Super Bowl, man. I'm 37. I've never lived through a Raiders Super Bowl. So, hell, I'll fucking, you know, I'll pull money out of savings and just spend enough money to find that gold label Pot of Spania, but I can't buy a Raiders Super Bowl. Electimus is a Bodacia sister brand, just as their lineup was. Is that true? Are you fucking with me, GMG? It's a sister brand of Bodacia. Bodacia, the overpriced. Look what Scott wrote on the Bodacia sample he sent me. Bodacia, the overpriced. Of course, it won't show. Bodacia, the overpriced. This is Ardent. Ardent. I did a video on a Bodacia, and really, I kind of did too, because one of them was a blind sniffing. They were in my blind sniffing lineup that I did on one of the videos, and I actually really loved the one that I did in the blind sniffing because it was very animalic and challenging. But you know what Bodacia the Victorious really bothers me? You know what bothers me about every single fragrance I've smelled from them is the first couple hours are primo, okay? You really feel like you're wearing something that they put a lot of time and effort into. And after that, everything just falls apart. I mean, it's just like, everything just falls apart. Like they put zero effort into the base. In no way am I giving them $400 to $900, you know, depending on the fragrance, to wear something that I would have to reapply every couple hours because there's zero effort put into the base. So until I find, you know, I've got some more samples. I've got Ardent to talk about, and then I also have I've got a sample here of Valiant by Bodacia the Victorious. So I'll do a couple more videos on them, but honestly, unless that was just bad luck that I got both fragrances that fall apart in the base, I have a feeling that's kind of what the house does. They try to suck you in, you know, and when you're wearing stuff like, when you wear these vintage fragrances, one thing you'll notice about something like Portitos or Silver by Etienne Aigner or Caesar's Man, legendary cologne spray, or even this is actually a vintage bottle of Kenzo Jungle Le Elephant that Amouage found me. Amouage found me this bottle. He's in the chat from Enchante Perfumes. There you go. The great Amouage right there. Amouage Patel. If you want a vintage perfume, you hit him up. But one thing about these vintages that you'll find is the perfumers back in the day, they didn't just put effort into the top. They didn't just try to, suck you in the first 15 seconds. They put effort into the entire dry down, the time, the effort, the materials. It was just different back then. That's why my heart is truly with vintage. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. The Lone Star State, baby. All right, let's catch up on these comments and we'll talk about elephant. Only Bodicea I enjoyed was Almas. Never smelled it. Scent of the Night, Armani 1982 Eau de Toilette for women. Never smelled it. Interesting, kid. What's it like? Hey, Bosman's back. Welcome, welcome. Diaghilev, my first week owning it. I love it a lot. Thanks for the recommendation. I'm so glad to hear that. If you guys, for you guys who are new to the channel, Diaghilev gets a lot of love from me. It's one of my favorite chypres of all time to wear. And you can see how little juice I have left to play with. I'm like conserving it. I love it so much. But it is expensive. It's $1,000 a bottle retail. And so it is not cheap. I'm worried about reformulation as well. But yes, I would love another bottle. I just refuse to give Roja the kind of money that he is asking for it, basically. Yes, the Boz man is back. Yo, Boz. Look at Ramsey looking all neat in his shirt. That's right. That's right. Sometimes you gotta, sometimes you gotta play a little ZZ Top and dress nice and hit the town, Amouage Silver Oud, pretty certain this will go down as Amouage's last. Actually, it feels that way, doesn't it? It really does feel that way, Saeed. And somebody messaged me today saying that they had the 50 mil of Silver Oud and they got almost no difference to the 100 mil. So that's good because when I first sprayed my 100 mil, I was like, uh-oh. I thought maybe it was going to be a little bit different than the decant I had that was from a 50 mil bottle. It's really, really good. This might be one of Cecile Zarokian's better work too. This and Epic Woman, I think, are some of the two best things she's done. But yeah, Silver Oud is really good. Good stuff. So yes, if it turns out that it's the same, I will be glad that I got the 100 mil bottle. If it turns out it's not the same, I want to swap somebody my 50 mil for the 100 mil. But yes, this is a really good release by Amouage. One of the best. I think it's the best thing put out under the Fishman's reign, under Salmon. Reynolds Salmon. You've already blind sniffed Rhinoceros, ain't you? I'm intrigued by the notes, but you weren't impressed. If I was not impressed, but it was the new Rhinoceros. There was a there is a here we go. So there's actually a vintage Rhinoceros right here that Victor Wong sent to me. He sent me the vintage Rhinoceros from 2014, the version that's no longer available, the very first version. And you can see they did 1.5 mils back then. Even the decants were even different. Now they do 2 mils. So, but this is more than enough juice for me to do a comparison video because I still have maybe 0.5 mil of the new version. So I'm going to do a comparison video because this is the one that everyone was kind of raving about, I think, originally. So when you watch those old... and by the way, even the perfumer is different. So the perfumer for the original Rhinoceros is Paul Killer, K-I-L-E-R, Paul Killer. I've never heard of. But the new one is Prin Lamros. And Prin, to me, is kind of hit or miss. Sometimes I like his stuff. Many times I don't, though. So I I'm very curious about doing this comparison video one day. One of these days I will. See, my schedule, sometimes I have to work from home, or sometimes I get to work from home. Sometimes I have to work in the office. So the days that I'm in the office, I can't really do like comparison videos where I'm like, okay, here's the original Rhino. Okay, compare it to the 2014 version. You know, people would think I'm out of my mind. They would put me in the crazy house. They would put me in the nut house, the padded walls, you know. Howdy, babes and fellas. Welcome, Dunk. Diaghilev bonus, Paxson Domus. Diaghilev is amazing. Bravo, man. Is it a Karma Chameleon? Oh, God, Boz, you couldn't help yourself, could you? Karma. If you ever visit London, I highly recommend Javoy's Boutique, one of my favorite places to smell niche fragrances, as they stock lots of other houses, such a memorable and personal. Yes, I am well aware of how badass their boutique is supposed to be. I've seen it. I mean, I've seen videos on it, but I've never actually been there. Has anyone tried Kyoto by Comme des Garçons? Is it better than Avignon? I have not actually smelled either. I haven't smelled Avignon or Kyoto. I know. It's a fragrance crime against the gods, I think. Let me catch up on these comments before we talk about Elephant. Yeah, for sure. Experience you don't get with ordering online. Yes, I know what you mean. Enrique, it's in the same league with Avignon. Nice. Paulus, lucky you. I'm going to London to try Diaghilev this year. Ah, very nice. Yes, the London Javoy Boutique is brilliant. Terrific selection, beautiful shop, and lovely staff. That's what I hear. Ah, Darren Allen, After the Rain. There's another house we could do a live stream early impression, you know, for, because I've got 4 Darren Allen perfumes right here, thanks to the beautiful Rachel, the beautiful soul Rachel. Here we go. There's 4 of them right here. So this could also be a topic of one of these live streams one day. I've got Fétiche de Noël, Cupid's Bow, Bathory, and Sweet Repose. And I actually have a 10 ml decant of Chypre #1, which I liked. It reminded me a little bit of Zoologist Civet. Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of Civet, which reminded me a little bit of Roja's Chypre Extraordinaire. So yes, I don't think I'll be getting a bottle of Civet anytime soon. What's your favorite incense? Oh, God, dude. That is very tough, Enrique. You're going to have to go watch my This Is Not a Top 10 Incense perfumes for that. I think I did it. I think I did that video. Did I do that video? Or am I hallucinating? If I was another channel, I'd say something like, where's the super chats? You want to hear info? We need super chats. Let's see. Did I do that video? Playlists. This is not a top 10. Ranked. I think I did a ranked. This is not a top 10. Incense / frankincense. Let's see. Ranked, not a top 10. Yes, I did. I did it 7 months ago, if you can believe that. I did it 7 months ago. Oh my God, that feels like yesterday. I can tell you a couple of my favorites just right off the bat, just straight out and out. Hey, that wasn't very nice. The cap came off. Are you babies safe? Did anyone break? You okay? Let me check you out. Let me just look you over. Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. Don't scare daddy like that anymore. All right, I'll just show you a couple of them real quick, some of my favorites. So just here's a few just right at hand. So you could go Healy Cardinal. This is a really good incense, just out and out incense fragrance. Oh, it's very, very good. Healy's Cardinal. You could go Incense Extreme. This is probably my favorite, or one of my favorites. Incense Extreme. This is actually by Andy Tower. This is what his old bottles look like before they had the before he got his own bottle design that basically looked like this. So this is the original Andy Tower. How crazy is that, huh? Incense Extreme by Andy Tower. A good Swiss boy. And then you know, probably the most realistic, if you just want incense and you don't really care about the performance, you could go Armani Bois d'Encens. This is one of the best incense fragrances you'll smell. Problem is the performance is very poor. You've got to spray this probably once an hour. I mean, an hour or two is all you're going to get. But there's this balancing act between incense lasting a long time and incense smelling very realistic. You know, if it lasts a long time, it usually smells less realistic. If it doesn't last as long, it smells more natural. And so there's this balancing act that many perfumers have to play. But these three are three easy starting points. Armani Bois d'Encens. This is a 2014 bottle. I would recommend trying to get 2014 or older if you can. The older, the better. This came out in like 2006. Excuse me. Healy's Cardinal is another good one. And again, Incense Extreme by Andy Tower. Those are three just right at hand. Just, you know, you can go check out my video though. I think that's like an hour and a half video on nothing but incense. A lot of good content there for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy the content. All right, let's talk a little bit about an Avignon, of course. Thank you for the reminder that particular perfume is on my list after I exhausted the sample. The leather dry down in Drakkar Noir isn't particularly great. Caesar's eliminated the leather and adds more citruses and greenness and moss. I prefer it. I think I prefer Caesar's legendary cologne spray as well. I'm shocked by how much I like this compared to Drakkar. It's very good. My wife seems to like it. Dunk says, thanks, Dusan and Bosman. I love how it's not overwhelming. It's strong, sure, but you can spray stuff your nose directly to your hand and enjoy it. Yeah, it's brilliant. Hey, Rick's in the house. Scent of the day, Amouage Beloved. Which one? Because I just talked about Beloved Woman a couple days ago for the first time on the stream, and I loved it. I want a bottle. Actually, it was so good, I want a bottle. At 2, Ramsey? That's right. Crossing over the Rubicon. This is not Cuba Nose, is it? No, it's not Cuba Nose. It's Cuban Grove. Cuba Shows. Al's your friend too, eh? Alan Hansen, I'll be visiting Javoy soon to replace my MDC ice sheet for Palatine. A slightly better experience than the delivery man hiding my parcel in the recycling bin. What? Dude, that's insane. Are you getting a whole new one? Boss number 1, Furio, Lagerfeld Cologne, and Roche's Femme, all bought on your recommendations. You are costing me a fortune. Those are all cheap, actually. Those are a great value for money. You just got 4. I mean, if you're wanting to start a collection, I don't think you could start a collection any better than those 4 at that price. You know, I mean, nowadays perfume is insanely expensive. Very rarely can you get the type of fragrance you're getting for Boss number 1, Furio, which was probably like $27, right, or $30. Lagerfeld Cologne and Roche's Femme. That level of perfumery nowadays in the niche world, you would have to spend a huge amount of money. So yes, I'm glad you're starting there. Those are great. Those are great way to start a collection. Hi, Manly and famous YouTuber. Welcome back. No, I'm not Cuba Nose. I'm the other Cuban. Those Etienne Eigner silvers are impossible to find in EDT form. I got like 20 of them at once or something, or 10. I think I got 10. So what ended up happening was the guy listed them as 5 mils, and then I bought 10 of them. So I thought I was getting 50 mils, and I was like, that's more than enough. But whenever they came, they actually turned out to be 10 mil minis. So I ended up getting 100 mils. And I think he accidentally threw in an extra one. So I got 11 instead of 10. So I think I got like 110 mils. It was great. Hey, love seeing you smelling some Zoologist Scents. Just an amazing brand. They made me addicted to fragrances. Yeah, it's really good. All right, so let's get back to Zoologist. Let me read you the blurb on Elephant, and then we'll talk about it. So it says, huge trees quake at their approach. Vulnerable leaves shuddering at the ground rumbles under heavy footsteps. They come with appetites as massive as their lumbering bodies. Nothing is spared from their bottomless hunger. Trees stripped bare, roots upturned, even the tiniest blossoms cannot escape their grasp. When the behemoths move on, they leave behind a path of destruction. Yet what often looks like carnage is actually a renaissance. The elephants fulfill a vital role, purging the delicate ecosystem, allowing new life to flourish. From beneath a canopy of lush, damp foliage, the complex aromas of Zoologist Elephant emerge. As it dissipates gradually, the core of the perfume is revealed, a beautiful and satisfying blend of woody notes, which dry down to an elegant and natural sandalwood scent. Okay, so top notes are tree leaves, Darjeeling tea, which is not my favorite type of tea, magnolia, cacao, coconut, milk, incense, jasmine, woody notes, amber, musks, patchouli, and sandalwood. Okay, so this says that it was one of the Arts and Olfaction Awards finalists of 2018. Kind of cool. It's got the little deal right here. And this is a good fragrance. It was created by a perfumer named Chris Bartlett, which let me just see what else Chris Bartlett made, just out of curiosity. Chris Bartlett. He's the guy that owned that brand I had never smelled before, Pellwell Perfumes. Yeah, I've never smelled Pellwell Perfumes. It looks like outside of the two that he's done for Zoologist, Beaver. Well, he did three, really, because he did Beaver 2014, Beaver 2016, and Elephant. All of his other fragrances are for this Pellwell Perfumes. I've never tried anything from that brand before. I guess he owns it. But Elephant's a very strange scent because clearly the focus is on the green. There's no doubt about this. There's a tree leaves note. It's almost like, you know what the green reminds me of? It reminds me, imagine if you're like smelling the tree or like a bark of a tree that like an animal like rubbed up against and left kind of a little bit of that, you know, weird after animalic smell, right? You get I'm definitely getting a lot of the tea mixed with cacao. So it's like green as you know, think of the scent as like a tree, right? The leaves are kind of like the canopy that kind of overhangs everything. And that greenness is overshadowing the fragrance for the entire time that it's been on my skin so far. But under the tree sits all of the other notes. So you get that Darjeeling tea, which I like more here than I like actually drinking. I don't like drinking Darjeeling tea. And you get this weird mixture of cacao and coconut, and it's very strange. I don't think I've ever smelled anything with a blend quite like this. And then you add in this milk and incense, very weird, with the woody notes. Now, the big knock that I would probably say against Elephant, just off of first sniff, is that dry down so far, that woody base seems like it's probably some amber woods, which if you're someone like Rich Mitch, that might send you running the other way. But for me, amber woods don't really bother me. The sandalwood doesn't really smell very natural. It smells like you're smelling synthetic sandalwood, but it's still really, really pleasant. I like this. I like both of these so far. Chameleon, I think so far Chameleon's probably number one and Elephant's number two, but I like them both. Rachel's back. you put the kiddo? Did you get the kiddos under control? He was an Argentinian, but never mind. Yes, Rachel's back. Electimus puts so much money into their bottles. I have their cashmere frag. Interesting. I've never even heard of the house. Fragrance Heimer. How about that as a channel name? Fragrance Heimer. Mercurial Cashmere. That's it, by Electimus. Interesting. And their bottles aren't so beautiful as Guerlain's Bee. Yeah, well, what is as beautiful as the Guerlain Bee bottle, though? I have Kuwait, Amber, Ocularia, and Octavian by Electimus. Interesting. Better get your Boz bottled. Boz bottled. Sounds like a perfume. Uh-oh. Rachel is busy today. She's multitasking. Ciao, Rachel. Electimus Kuwait is a complex clone. Interesting. Clone of Frag Guru Amouage. Electimus bottles are even more vulgar. Electimus, some best bottles in my opinion. Far better than Roja's. Wow. My heart is truly with vintage. Me too. I'm with you there, Andy. 100%. As good as these, you know, so many times I smell these niche fragrances. Like Zoologist is actually a good example of this, although I think they're still willing to take some chances. But some of the new zoologists I've smelled are smelling more and more mainstream, if you will. But initially, Zoologist was kind of like Amouage in that they were willing to take chances, you know, and be unique and different. And for me, I mean, even the vintage scents we talked about today, like if all you've smelled is niche, this is going to smell like the most niche thing you've ever smelled. Portos is going to smell like the most innovative, challenging, transformational. I mean, it's truly art in a bottle. If you've never smelled true vintage fragrances and you get your nose on Portos, it'll blow you away more than it'll knock you for a 6. You'll be on your ass, man. It's just, it's a different, it's like night and day, you know, it's like, Venus and Mars. It's just totally different. It's just different, you know. And once you really compare pricing and what you get for a fragrance and the time spent and all of this stuff, I mean, for me, vintage is it's where my heart's at too, Dushan. Heaviest bottles ever for sure. They're glass bricks. I've never even seen. I don't think I've ever even seen it. Roja can get ridiculously expensive. Oh, yeah. Yeah, his new Taif Oud, which I have a review on the channel of already, because it's a re-release of a exclusive scent for Fortnum & Mason that came out in 2014 originally. Armando sent me a good-sized decan. I think it was like 5 mils. And I did a video on it a month or two ago. The 100 mil of that Taif Oud is $750. That's what it converts to in pounds. Pounds to dollars, you're paying $750. It's like, ugh, that's insane. He thinks he is God and he needs money. George Carlin was my favorite comedian of all time. I think he was a genius. Vintage Rhinoceros is so good. I can't wait for that comparison video then, Paroli. I have the 50 mil of Silver Oud, and I know for a fact it's been reformulated. You stop it, Alan. You stop it. I already feel bad. I went for the 100 mil. You stop it. Stop it right there. All right? Don't make me go hunt down a 50 mil of this, man. My favorite zoologist by far. Which one? Elephant? Elephant or Chameleon? Rhinoceros makes... Oh, Rhinoceros. Duh. Come on, Ramsey. Get with the program. Rhinoceros makes me think of Old Smashing Pumpkins. I love it. I love Old Smashing Pumpkins. I mean, Roja releases something and the Frag World collectors look at him. He could be God. We all do look at him. That's right. That's a joke. Don't cancel me. Just a joke. Hey, Ram. Is Overture Man? I don't know. All I know is I got my bottle when it very first came out from Harrods because it was a Harrods exclusive. Harrods shipped it to me. It's the only time I've ever had Harrods ship me anything. That's how bad I wanted Overture from Amouage immediately as soon as it came out. Yeah, I don't know either. Kuba knows is good for new people. He is. Yeah, I can't. It's kind of like Aaron Terrence Hughes. Like I like both of them. I like Kuba knows and I like Aaron Terrence Hughes, but I have a hard time watching their content. I'd rather watch old Robes 08 or old AC Smells Good channel or Chris from Scentland. Old Chris from Scentland videos are amazing. Like from 8 or 9 years ago, they're good stuff. Rien Intense Incense, I love it too, Eric. I really do too. Honestly, if you love this, you have to try, because Antoine Lee made the original Rien. I don't know if he did the flanker as well, but his hands are all over this. I would really urge you, if you trust my nose, I would really urge you to go get my buddy Eugene's fragrance from Les Abstraits called L'Adulaire Exquise. There's this castoreum, okay? There's this castoreum. Stay with me. It's a rose patchouli, but the castoreum in the dry down will remind you a little bit. I swear there's castoreum in here. It'll remind you a little bit of the castoreum from Antaeus. Yes, the greatest castoreum fragrance of all time. And it'll remind you a little bit of the combination between the, Rose, Oud, and Orris. There's like this dirty Orris in this Imitation Man. So if you love Rien Intense Incense and you love the way that castoreum kind of hits your nose, you have to go get yourself a bottle of L'Adulaire Exquise. I think it's my favorite rose patchouli of all time. I know I have a decant of Frederick Mall's Portrait of a Lady. I know I like it more than Portrait of a Lady. I know I like it more than Aramis 900, which I love both of those. But it's for me. It's for me. It's my rose patchouli. You know what I mean? I think it was the best release of last year. Vintage Rien. Nice. Someone just mentioned Rien Intense Incense, and now here we go. Vintage Rien. I've got a modern bottle of Rien, and I love it. I can't imagine a vintage bottle. That's a comparison I'd love to do. The vintage bottles don't say ELDO on the top, right? And the cap is also not shiny. It's like the vintage bottles of Rien, the vintage bottles of ELDO, the caps look like this one. Just so you know. So that's a way to tell if you're getting a vintage. This is probably one of my favorite ELDOs no one talks about. Je suis un homme. I think it basically translates to I am man. But speaking of Antoine Lee, okay? Speaking of Antoine Lee, this smells like a love letter to Bel Ami. It smells like a modern take on Bel Ami. I absolutely adore this stuff because Bel Ami is my favorite fragrance. And this is like Bel Ami, but modernized. There's this liqueur note here, and that's the thing is, Antoine Lee loves putting little bits and pieces of his favorite fragrances to the past in his new work, like Dessandra's, which I think is my second favorite Les Abstraits fragrance. There's a little bit of Devon in there. And I said it from the very beginning, the very first day. I was one of the first people to upload a video. I asked Eugene if it was okay. Most people waited until like a couple days before the release, but I uploaded it weeks before, like 3 weeks before the release. And so, Devon came to my mind instantly as soon as I smelled Dessandra's. And Antoine Lee just loves knitting in these little bits and pieces of the past. I love it. And this is an homage to Bel Ami, in my opinion. It's beautiful. Je suis un homme. Discontinued, of course. One of my favorite ELDOs. They discontinue it. But if you can find this, I would highly recommend it. All right, let's catch up on the comments. And then we'll move on to fragrance number 3, which is going to be Koala. Tower Extreme Incense. I love that stuff. Is Mancera Red Tobacco? No. Ram, what's your favorite mass appealing fragrance? Oh, God. Mass appealing. What would you describe as mass appealing? Is Shalimar mass appealing? Is Mitsuko mass appealing? Or is it, who even says that? You are being sarcastic, I assume. Palace, I don't know if you know this, but Bosman's new to the channel. So, yeah, take it easy on him. Red tobacco is good for killing bugs. You know what's funny is Bosman coming over from the other channels. Like yesterday, he said something pretty funny too, and we kind of gave him a hard time. But he was like, it was a Parfums de Marly. It was oh God, what was the Parfums de Marly fragrance that he said he really loved? And I'm not calling you out. I'm just Percival. It was Percival. So yesterday he was like, Percival's the greatest fougere of all time. And I was like, and then someone was like, you know, giving him a little bit of a hard time. And it's just funny seeing the new people come over because we're like such an entrenched group. You know what I mean? Like we love what we love and we have pretty strong feelings about it. And, you know, I would say we're a pretty advanced group of noses. I mean, we take this pretty seriously. Most people love fragrances like I do. Like I love perfume and for the art of perfume. And so when you're getting started, it's hard because there's so much bullshit out there. And if you're out there watching videos from some of those other channels, you're probably hearing stuff like red tobacco is the greatest tobacco of all time. Or, you know, you're hearing stuff like Percival's the greatest fougere of all time. So it's funny seeing someone new kind of come over and get acclimated to the climate here and the different way of thinking. But trust me, we'll take good care of you, Boz. You'll be a pro in no time, my friend. Hello, Michael John. Good to see you, brother. Palace, it is getting a lot of hype on sites. Well, yeah, that's usually a sign that I won't like something, Boz. So listen, if I see a lot of other reviewers hyping it, or if it gets a lot of positive play in the community, usually that means I won't like it. Honestly, when I say I go against the stream or against the grain or whatever you want to call it, it's not just for the act of going against it. It's literally many times what they like, I hate. And, you know, what I like, they hate. You know, it's funny because if, you know, one of the fragrances that really shocked me recently was a fragrance called, oh God, what was it called? It was that actor from France. It's under lock and key. I can't even turn around and grab the bottle. Hang on. Let me see if I can just find it real quick. It was called, give me a second. Give me a second. I'm going to find it. Kinski by Kinski. It was called Kinski by Kinski. And it was a Giza Schoen fragrance. And I've smelled a lot of Giza Schoen's work. I've smelled his work for Clive Christian. I've smelled his work for, what's her name? Oh, God, there's just too many names for me to remember. I've smelled his work for, hang on, I'll tell you who I'm thinking about in just a second. Okay, I've smelled his work for Ormond Jane. All right, I've smelled a lot of his work. That Kinski by Kinski is one, for my personal taste, one of my favorite discoveries of 2022. And it's an older fragrance and it's discontinued. It's really hard to find. And the reason I wanted it so bad was it was Chris from Scentland's very first review. And I told you I love Chris from Scentland, right? And but I've been hunting it for years, and there was a whole escapade on how it got here and, you know, all this stuff. And Rich Mitch tried to send it to me like 7 times. It got intercepted by the Royal Mail. There's a whole, go watch my haul videos and you'll come across the one where I unbox it eventually. The long lost haul is, I think, what I titled that video. And it's funny because the notes in it are insane. I mean, absolutely insane. Like if you look at it, it's like cannabis and blackcurrant and marine notes and castoreum and styrax and patchouli and suede and amber and hedione and rose and all of this stuff, right, combined together that you would think, no way it works. No way. And it's my favorite fragrance from Giza Schoen. And so that's the difference, I think, in they're hyping stuff because that's just what they do. They hype stuff. They're infomercials. You're watching an infomercial. Like, you don't realize you're watching an infomercial, but you are. You're watching an infomercial because the free bottle flow has to keep coming. They want the free bottles to come to them. That's the difference is, you know, the brands send them, there's literally a list. And if you say anything bad about it, you are off that list. Me, I buy my own bottles. I buy my own decants. So I say whatever the hell I want to say about them. That's the difference. Is if I think it's good, I'll tell you it's good. If I think it's shite, I'll tell you it's shite. And that's why I will never be on that list of free bottles. I just will never be there. I'm too much of a risk for them. Imagine if they send me a bottle of their new release and I shit all over it like I did Xerjoff Symphonium. Just imagine the potential loss of revenue if the review gets big enough, right? And so for them, it's safer to just completely avoid me. But they can't shut up what I have to say if I buy my own decants or if I buy my own bottles, right? And so that's basically how I built my collection. That's the whole reason I started this channel, was basically to go, you know, I was sick and tired of seeing nothing but infomercials. And I wanted to put out honest content. There was no more honest people anymore. I felt like Fradcom was just, you know, like poisoned. Like Fradcom had been poisoned by the free bottles and the hate. And there's so much jealousy. Like, people can't be happy for one another. It's always a competition. And I hate that. Like, I just want to be in a group of people who loves perfume. And so that's why I started the channel. And that's pretty much what we've turned into. So I hope that gives you kind of an inside look into how we think here. Ombre Chromatique, a great incense, and also Roja UAE. I did like Roja UAE. I wouldn't mind a bottle of Roja UAE, but they're so expensive. It is good if you want to ruin your day. Sorry, I meant Encens Satin, getting mixed up with Guerlains. Just buy Tabak Vert. Yeah, just buy Tabak Vert, 100%. It's under lock and key. I can't show you the bottle, but it's very good. Tabak Vert's one of my favorite tobaccos. Right on the money. What's up, Ramsey and everyone else? How's everyone doing tonight? Hey, Jimmy and Randy, welcome. Good to see you. Hey, Ace of Souls. Hope you're doing well. Y'all be saying Roja. I'll be hearing Roja. Chanel Cuir de Russie. Scott from Germany actually sent me a pretty fair sample of the Eau de Parfum. So I'm going to do a comparison video with the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Cologne one day. How's that for a comparison video? Imagine a triple comparison video between the 1960s, 1970s Eau de Cologne bottle I have versus the 1980s, 1990s Eau de Toilette versus the modern Eau de Parfum. That's going to be a hell of a comparison video. So shout outs to Scott from Germany for sending that to me. He sent me a lot of good shit. All right, let's get the let's get the third fragrance on my skin, Koala. And then we'll catch up on the comments. Jimmy and Randy, welcome. Dushan so formally recognizes everyone. I love it. He's the official greeter. All right, Koala, let's go, baby. We've got 2 good ones so far. Let's make it 3. God, the sprayer is such shit. Cinnamony and very cologne-y off the first spray. I'm going to let that settle for a little bit. Byredo Mojave Ghost. Byredo is another brand I can't say I'm very high on. So stuff like Parfum de Marly, Byredo, Xerjoff, those are brands that just, I'm not really into them. Weak. I have a decant of red tobacco, so I'll review it if you would like. But it may not be a good review, but I'll review it. I'm gonna have to get Mandarin tobacco. I was watching that, Daniel. Actually, if you said right now, Ramsey, you can pick one Byredo, it would be Mandarin tobacco. I think that seems like the closest Byredo that I would really like. This elephant's turning really nice into the dry down, though. That milky incense with the amber and patchouli into the dry down is really nice. Both Chameleon and Elephant are really nice. I've enjoyed Chameleon and Elephant for sure. Koala is very strange because it opens up very cinnamony. Now I'm getting that eucalyptus. There must be eucalyptus in here. Yeah, menthol, honey, and eucalyptus. There's definitely this camphoraceous quality to it. So yeah, lots of camphor notes coming through right now. It starts off very, I must have got a lot of the mimosa and gumdrops as a note. Mimosa and gumdrops. I was thinking cinnamon, but there's definitely this mentholated honey mixed with eucalyptus. Comes across very camphoraceous, if you will. I don't know how much I like Koala. Elephant is super green in the top. I liked it. I like Elephant. Elephant's nice. I enjoy it. Byredo is from Sweden, so you can get their fragrances anywhere in Scandinavia. Yeah, I don't own a single Byredo. I do have some samples I'll do some videos on one day soon, but I have 0 full bottles. Try Mandarin tobacco. Thought it was founded by an African American. It's broken branches. Oh no. Cow and coconut. Cacao. Rhinoceros and squid are my favorites. Nice. I'm going to try the old rhinoceros soon, Ram, but I haven't tried squid yet. I'm interested in buying more Amouage. Can you give me your top 10? I did a ranked Amouage video. Go check it out, Mr. Inglewood. Ram Venu, what about Sacred Scarab? I love Sacred Scarab. Sacred Scarab is definitely ranked ahead of Rhinoceros for me, at least the new version of my Rhinoceros. I'll do a video on the old version one day soon. Interference in the house. Welcome, my friend. Didn't get a chance to smell it yet. There's an oil version coming soon. Yeah, because Sultan Pasha does great atars, as you all know. Some Eddie, he of senatorial rank, sent me this Sultan Pasha attar that was supposed to be, I think they called it like a prototype attar. I don't think it was released to the public. Sultan Pasha sent it to him with an order. So I'm very excited to try this. I haven't put it on my skin yet, but it smells amazing just from like smelling this. Man. And Sultan Pasha reached out and said he was going to send me some stuff. So I'm very excited because the 2 things I've smelled from Sultan Pasha, Civet de Nuit for Areej Dore and Sacred Scarab by Zoologist are absolutely amazing. I think Sacred Scarab might be the best Zoologist. I have Black Caviar, Amber Ocularia, and Peritas from Electimus. Nice. I have an obsession with the Labo Santal 33. Honestly, I don't hate Santal 33 as much as everyone else does. But I do have a pretty good size decant. I think this is like a 30 mil. I got this from the Perfumed Court. And this is, the thing about Santal 33, I think that puts people off is the sandalwood that they use is Australian sandalwood. So what ended up happening is after we basically over-farmed all of the Mysore sandalwood in India, and the Indian government said, that's it, no more. If we don't stop this now, there'll be no more Mysore sandalwood, period, ever on, at all, anywhere. And they put a halt to it. The people thought, you know what, we'll just take these sandalwood trees and we'll replant them in places that have land, like Australia. So that's what they did. But guess what? Sandalwood is a tree that takes a lot from its environment. So whenever it grew in Australia, the same tree, the sandalwood that's grown in the Australian soil, smells completely different than the sandalwood that's grown in India. And the Australian sandalwood comes off smelling almost pickle-like. It has this pickle-like smell. And in Le Labo 33, you get a lot of that pickle-like smell. However, there's something in Le Labo 33 that really attracts me, and it's the fact that it's big and bold and daring, and there's this leather-like thing in the dry down. So it's like a leathery sandalwood with this huge ambroxan and this papery papyrus. So it's almost like the papyrus comes across as smelling old and fragile. Like if you touch the paper, it kind of crinkles, you know? That's how the papyrus smells in Santal 33 to me. And then to top it all off, there's just a little bit of iris. So everyone talks about how in Santal 33, there's this, you know, overbearing pickle note with the weird sandalwood and the huge ambroxan, and how it's a, you know, indie fragrance, and, you know, it's a bro fragrance and all this stuff. But no one talks about the beautiful leather in the dry down, the beautiful iris that ends up kind of coming out later on and smooths everything out. They only talk about that harsh opening. And it is true. The opening is harsh. The fragrance itself, though, is very loud, but I like it. I like Santal 33. One thing you'll notice with me is that whereas some people hate things that just become popular, like if Aventus becomes popular, they hate it. If Leighton becomes popular, they hate it. I don't. I kind of stick to if I like something, I like it. And even if it becomes popular, Santal 33, I like Aventus. I like Leighton, and, you know, so that's just what it is. Yeah, Portitos is amazing. Damn, how far behind the comments am I? You can make a great dinner with that ingredient. Portitos. Black caviar is a bit smoother. Aqua di Sale. Ah, interesting. If you like Portrait of a Lady, try Octavian. Someone just mentioned that earlier. Portitos is beastly. My favorite zoologists are elephant. Elephant's really good interference. I'm trying it for the first time today. I like it. Shockingly good. It's one of the surprises. I didn't think I'd like it that much. Koala, on the other hand, I don't like that much. Let me read you the blurb, and then I'll kind of talk a little bit more about it. It says, a cloak of rich green velvet sweeps across the Australian horizon. The majestic eucalypt forest, flattering every curve of the undulating landscape, tucked high in the crook of a tree, the koala is oblivious to the mesmerizing views. It would rather curl into a ball and sleep off a feast of oily eucalyptus, the aromatic leaves that sustain it. Despite their sleepy demeanor and friendly expression, koalas are territorial creatures. Males mark the soaring trunks with their musk, establishing their dominance. Zoologist koala is a unique and carefree scent that snuggles in around you, enveloping you in an embrace both playful and independent. So the top notes are eucalyptus, mimosa, menthol honey, and gumdrops. The heart is black tea, geranium, incense, spices, and vetiver. The base is musk, amber, oak moss, vanilla, and sandalwood. So, here's the problem I have with this fragrance is that it's obviously a focus on this camphoraceous, you know, green, musky feeling. And, you know, eucalyptus is a very hard note to do well. In my opinion, it's a very hard note to do well. There's a eucalyptus note in Creed's Royal Mayfair, which I at first hated, and I've come to now love it. It took basically half a bottle for me to fall in love with it, but I eventually did. And there's also a eucalyptus note in stuff like this. If you've ever smelled Body Koros by Annick Minardo, there's a little bit of that Annick Minardo ambery bit that she's so brilliant at doing, but it's mixed with eucalyptus. And so, you know, eucalyptus is one of those notes that I must say, I don't really get the urge to wear it very often. But when I do, I think I'm pretty set. on eucalyptus. So this would be a pass for me. Plus, I don't think the way that they blended that honeyed eucalyptus with the other notes, the tea and incense and spices and koala, is as well blended as the incense, tea, and milk and coconut and cacao and elephant. Elephant might be the black horse that kind of takes over and wins this whole thing. It's definitely a two-man race right now between elephant and chameleon. I think in the dry down, elephant's winning me over. At first, I thought it was chameleon, but right now I think it's elephant. Koala's definitely in last place right now. We'll see what cow is like. This is such a great little platform for me to try a bunch of fragrances all at once. In theory, designers should be the ones taking chances on their releases. They have plenty of other revenue streams. Victor at Zoologist needs to sell bottles first and foremost. That's a good point. But the designers are all owned by brands that all they care about is money. They don't want to take a chance and have a flop. They would rather put out something that, just kind of, they know exactly what they're going to get, and they can make their revenue calculation adjustments and tie it all in and all that stuff, rather than put out something that, takes a chance. Pierre Bourdon talked about that whenever he talked about the moneyed interest coming into the fragrance world, because imagine it was YSL that put out Koros, a designer put out Koros in 1981. Could you imagine if a designer put out a fragrance like Koros today? It would be unfathomable. You are right. If you smell the first version of Rhinoceros, it smells like oily leather with oud, but the re-release is not as good as okay. That's good to hear, Ram. I was worried about that. Amouage Jubilation, how is it? One of the best fragrances of all time, but you have to get a vintage. The new one is absolutely shite from the rumors I hear. Camel is my favorite offering from the Zoologist. The first formulation of Bad is, I hear the first formulation of Bad is still available under a fragrance called Night Flight or Night Flyer from another brand. I'll have to check that out one day. New Juby sucks. That's what I heard. Bosman, both versions are great. My favorite Zoologists are Camel and Civet. Civet was very good. I did a video on it. It is a very well-made Chypre. She also did, it must have been Hummingbird from Zoologist as well, that Shelley Waddington. And she has a style that you can really tell between the two. I preferred Civet, but that honey, if you like her style, that Hummingbird was also pretty nice. I think you usually get the best from a new niche house right from the start, because after a year or two, when the accounts come in, that influences their future direction. Yeah, the bean counters come in. Designers want that moolah. That's it. John got me a big decant of Overture. Might go for a bottle if I run out. Overture's so good. I think they got Jubilation, one version at least, at the best stores here. Find vintage Juby. It lasts way longer than modern, which doesn't last at all. Yeah, I heard people saying like the modern lasts. Someone sent me an email off of a decant saying they got like 2 hours, an hour or two off of it. That's unbelievable if that's true. This is fun. I have a sample set of Zoologists I'm smelling along with you so far. I like these two. Ah, yes, you like Chameleon and Elephant too. It's really good. Elephant's getting even stronger into the dry down, though. So, yeah, I think Elephant's taking the lead, surprisingly. Very surprisingly. Scent of the day, Prada Amber Perron. Possibly the best clean fragrance ever. It is so good. And I love Prada Amber Perron Intense, too. The black bottle is really good. Fragrances I have tried and own, L'Homme. Yeah, L'Homme Intense is really good as well. I do think of La Douleur Exquise as a rose patchouli, an incredible one, but I think of Portrait of a Lady as a spicy rose. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I got to think about that. What's your favorite designer fragrance question? We need some love for Arabian Oud, a Seal Special Edition. You have got to smell Al Farid and Risala. Buy them too. I've never smelled an Arabian Oud, mate. That's one brand I've just never smelled. They're expensive, aren't they? I don't think they're cheap. if I'm thinking of the same house. Percy, yes. My 3 favorites from ELDO are Herman, a Mez Coats Fat Electrician. I have not smelled Fat Electrician yet. I really want to. I thought wife would love Eugene Bellamy, but she said it smelled old. Really? I know now I've been watching the wrong channel. We are a pack of rabid dogs. I am new to this world still. We're not giving you, I mean, we're just maybe poking you a little bit. So a year from now, whenever we're like, hey guys, remember when Boz said Percival was the best fougere of all time? You can be like, oh God, I've come so far. Thank you. Thank you. I've come so far, fellas. Eugene's fragrance is amazing. Definitely trust Ramsey's nose on that one. Plus, Eugene is an awesome down-to-earth and family man, too, so it's a win-win. Yeah, he's awesome. I like supporting people like that, but I love the fact that I love the fragrance the most. To be fair, I finally got to try red tobacco, and it was better than I expected. It's probably because it was so fashionable to shit on it. Yeah, I've got a decant of it, so I'll do a video on it. And I'll tell you this, I don't think I've sprayed that decant in a year and a half. I think it's a year and a half old. But I remember when I sprayed it, and I think I only wore it to bed. I don't think I ever actually wore it as my scent of the day. I remember not hating it. I remember it being super loud and screechy, and it had that, you know, Mancera screechy bit, that plasticky thing that he just does in all of his fragrances. But I remember thinking that if you were going to force me to wear a Mancera, I'd probably pick red tobacco over the one that everyone hypes. What's it called? Cedrat Boisé. Bosman, welcome, my son. Welcome to the machine. That's right. Till a few years ago, Diesel was my idea of fragrances. That mass appealing was a trick, fun question, basically to make you choose something you like from a trash can. I gotta think. I honestly have to really think about that mass appealing question, Paulus. That's a tough one. Furio is mass appealing. I only trust my nose. You only smell out of your nose, so that makes perfect sense. Honestly, I don't think the shills even like the frags they hype strictly pay. I think you might be right. I think there might be some people who have become advanced enough to know what they're smelling is shite, but they just won't say it because they don't want to get on the naughty list. They don't want to get put on the list where they stop getting the free bottles, you know? Luckily, I've been blessed enough where I can buy my own bottles, so fuck the brands that act like that's some sort of a, you know, barrier to breaking into it. And even if you don't have enough money to just go buy bottles, buying little samples is, you know, what's the sample set? 40, 50 bucks, you know? And you could do, how many videos would this do? If you did a video on each one of these, how many videos would each one of these run you if you had a channel, you know? And then you could say whatever the hell you want about it, you know? Do your videos off of little samples. You don't have to show a bottle every time. People can Google what the damn bottle looks like, you know? All start somewhere. That's it. That's why I say I'm excited to see these new faces in our community. It means we're growing. The definition of a shill, absolutely. Best part of a free bottle is that it's free. I didn't say Percival is the greatest fougere. I meant to say it is my favorite one so far. I thought you said it was the greatest fougere of all time. I didn't realize it was even considered a fougere. Maybe I'm mistaken. I do have a lot of you guys' messages rattling around in my head. Gentle Uomo, the one that smells exactly like Creed Silver Mountain Water. Now you are safe. They say there are reviewers, but they say every fragrance is perfect. Yeah, that's right. Or if it's not perfect, it's really the best thing I've ever smelled. It's just not for me, you know, but it's the best thing ever. Go out and get it. It's just not for me, you know. Yeah. Thank you, my friend. I figured there's a demand for it. Michelle Millau London is the best house right now, Bosman. Here's what's weird. Silver Mountain Water turns to ammonia on my skin, and I love the scent profile. Gentle Uomo doesn't, and so I'm able to enjoy it. Sold my Silver Mountain Water after that. What year was your bottle interference? Just out of curiosity. You are on a train of free interviews with Russian Atom. No number of free bottles can value that. You're exactly right. You're 100% right. Just getting to know Russian Atom over this last year has been, worth the price of admission for having a channel. 100% for me. I learned so much. Yeah, I learned so much just chatting with him, and I'd actually swap my bottle of Green Value for your PDMs just to get the satisfaction of throwing them into the ocean. Done. Absolutely done. That's a deal. This is a legal binding document here, Andy. You're on the hook. Send that Silver Green Valley, baby. I'm sure there is a significant amount of money exchanging hands behind the scenes for some of those influencers. No way it stops at free bottles. Yeah, you're spot on. I mean, I usually don't even talk about that fact, but I know it's happening. I've had people who are friends with some of them come and tell me that, they know for sure, or they have been told by the person that's getting the money that, yes, it absolutely is happening. So you're right. I mean, almost as bad as they'll like send out a menu, it's become like a menu pricing model. They've got it down to like an art form. The people who are getting the money obviously don't want to say anything, but yeah, it's like, this is how much you get for each video you do. And yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. I don't want any part of that. I don't care how much money you could make doing that. I don't want any part of that whatsoever. I have 2 Xerjoffs, many dry down, too sweet and syrupy. Yeah, and 2 they smell cheap to me. I don't trust a house that collaborates. WAS. Tabak Vert has been reformed though, right? That's what I heard, but I honestly don't know. I've never smelled the new stuff. I don't trust a house that collaborates with Ashton from Jet Sense. I actually like Ashton. I like Ashton, but he's on this train of he reviews a lot of like the track that he's on is he does a lot of designer reviews, right? So he'll review like the new Versace and stuff like that, Dolce and Gabbana, whatever they call it, blue, what's that Dolce & Gabbana that I can never remember the name of, light blue, and all of the flankers and stuff like that. That's just, I'm past that. I'm beyond that is the thing. I'll never trust any reviewer that's with Navitus. Navitus, what a I don't think I've ever smelled one, but I honestly have zero desire to. Yeah, it's Mike V's favorite brand. The Navitus Steven combo is the greatest thing since Christopher Chong and Amouage. Wrote name wrong in comment. Go up. Navitus, the YouTuber's own house. Yes. Yeah, buddy. Driving and listening. Thanks, Eugene. Good to see you, my friend. I'm glad you're here. PDM, Callan, all the way. I've never smelled Callan. The only PDM I've got on docket to do a review on soon is someone sent me probably about 5 mils of Parfum de Marly Latent Exclusif, which apparently the Exclusif is supposed to be a little bit darker and richer, and so a little bit more animalic and challenging. So yeah, I'll wear that as my scent of the day soon and do a video on it, but I don't have very high hopes. Keep your eyes on the road, Eugene. Tuesday is the day with Antoine. Oh shit, it's coming up. What's your opinion on both Creed Vikings? I love the original Creed Viking from 2017, and I absolutely despise Viking cologne. I hate Viking cologne. I hate Viking Aventus cologne. excuse me, I hate any of the new creeds. Any of the new creeds, I despise, honestly. And I mean any of the new creeds in the 50 and 100 ml bottles. With Creed, you got to go older. You got to go vintage. All right, let's put Cow on my skin while we're chatting and catching up on comments. God, the sprayer is fucking terrible. All right, let's let this settle down while we catch up on the comments. Ooh. That is pleasant. Have you tried or anyone in the chat sampled Zaharoff's new leather tabak? I'm kind of interested. I actually have 0 Zaharoff fragrances. I don't own a single one. But I would love, if I was going to smell one, leather tabak or the original tabak sounds like the two. That would be right on my wish list. I don't think the vintage My Rhinoceros is a masterpiece or anything, but there's something about that leather note that just hits right. Nice. I'm excited to try it. OG Viking is 10 out of 10. Viking Cologne is in my top 10 worst things. Yes, 100% agree. I own Scandal, Enigma, Danger, and Elysium by Roja. Enigma is my favorite. Enigma is very good. You have the Cologne version of those 4. Bix 33. Enigma Cologne over Parfum any day due to price. I have both, and they both rock my nostrils. Yes, I know what you mean. I did a comparison video on them, Eric, if you're interested. The Labo is trashy and inconsistent. I would love to smell their patchouli. I'd love to smell their queer. That was like a Dubai exclusive for $600 or whatever the hell they charged. This is pleasant. Cow is pleasant, but I don't think I would wear it. Let me read you the blurb. Nathalie Feisthauer is the perfumer. Lush green pastures tumble toward the horizon, arcing beneath the imposing silhouette of a mountain range. Cumulus clouds roll across a bright blue sky, their massive shadow gliding over a peacefully grazing herd. In a corner of the meadow, a tiny calf braces quivering limbs and, with a mighty lurch, stumbles up to take its maiden steps. Its velvet snout prods, rooting at its mother, until the release of warm milk signals a satisfying welcome to the vast new world. Zoologist Cow brings to mind a bucolic scene, a myriad of scents from Mother Nature's nurturing bosom. Innocent florals sway among soft grasses, while apple gently sweetens the soft aroma of fresh milk. The result is a place, both familiar and reassuring, where warm arms unfold to welcome us into a loving embrace, a place called home. Okay. So here's the thing. This is pleasant. I think I would enjoy smelling Cow, but I don't think I'd want to wear this, if that makes sense. It's not the kind of thing I'd want to wear. I think on the dry down, number 1 is Elephant. Number 2 is Chameleon. Number 3 would be Cow. Number 4 is Koala. That's how I'd probably rank these. Cow is just so pleasant. It beats out Koala just because I don't think I like the way Koala is blended. It was done by Spyros Drossopoulos. Sounds Greek. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard of anything from Spyros. He did Koala, he or she. My bottle of Dissandra is arriving tomorrow. You're going to dig it, Michael John. I'm excited for you. I'd love to hear what you think once you get a chance to smell it. Koala mating is violent. Oh, shit. Okay, Ramsey, quick question. Just like I was saying the other night to you, I know your channel is more about the classics and more vintage perfumery. How do I know if I bought a vintage Giacomo de Giacomo? The writing should be in blue. So you can kind of see how the writing in mine is in blue. Don't worry about the bottle because the bottle is a tester. That's why it's circular, and it looks like, shout out to the greatest little perfume shop of all time, by the way, Enchante sticker. So I know the bottle here looks like a hair spray bottle or something, but that's just the tester bottle that Giacomo used. What you want is you want to make sure the writing is in blue. Here's what the new bottles look like. Actually, I bought this first, the new version, and I was shocked people were hyping it. I was like, this smells plasticky and cheap, and where's the smoke? Where's all this amazing deep dark green smoke? And everyone was talking about, I got none of it. I just got like disgusting, plasticky. It smelled very, very cheap to me. And then I got the vintage and I was like, holy shit. I mean, I understood it the second I sprayed it. I was like, wow, this is an amazing, deep, smoky green galbanum. Like, there's the only thing about Giacomo di Giacomo is the clove is quite strong. If you don't like cloves, maybe stay away. But yeah, if you've got the blue writing, you're in vintage. You're in the vintage realm. You're sitting pretty. You know what Cow reminds me of? I used to vape for a short amount of time, actually a couple years, but and whenever you vaped, so between the time that I quit smoking and I really quit altogether, I vaped. And whenever you vape, you get these weird flavors, right? And you could get all these crazy flavors. Cow smells like a vape flavor to me. It smells like one of those sweet, it would have vanilla and you would get like walnut, or they had all these crazy flavors that you could make. This smells like a vape flavor. It's very pleasant. I enjoy Cow. I like the little milky. So apparently the notes are sage and apple. I get this weird apple milk pie thing. I don't get very much sage though. Milk, lily of the valley, heliotrope, violet, jasmine, cedarwood, vetiver, benzoin, musk, and amber. It's very pleasant. I'll tell you that. It's definitely very pleasant. Want to make sure I didn't get cheated as the dude was selling it as vintage 100 mil. Just make sure the writing's in blue. It'll have blue writing. Yep, that's it. Koala is actually popular among female customers because it reminds them of a spa. Victor, come on the stream, dude. Talk to us about these. I'll drop the link. Say Polo Ralph Lauren 5 times quick, right? Polo Ralph Lauren, Polo Ralph Lauren, Polo Ralph Lauren, Polo Ralph Lauren, Polo Ralph Lauren. Koala is very soapy. A soapy eucalyptus. Mentholated soap. I guess I could see that. I don't care for it. I like the eucalyptus in Royal Mayfair much better. Cow is just so much more pleasant, but I think the winner's Elephant came through in the clutch at the end. Amazing comeback for Elephant. I thought it was going to be Chameleon all the way. Chameleon is really nice. I love how it opens up so similar to, I think it borrows a little bit from Kenzo Jungle the Elephant, although this is not popular. So again, it's probably not something that many people would make the comparison to. But that mango, the difference is Jungle the Elephant, Kenzo Jungle the Elephant has that heliotrope that makes it very chewy. And Chameleon's all about contrast to me. I really like it. I like Chameleon and I like Elephant, but I think the dry down of Elephant, I'm really digging the dry down. That amber patchouli sandalwood mixed with that cacao, incense, and milk and jasmine and woody. Maybe a little bit of, I don't know, ISOE super, just a touch, but not too much. It's really good. Blue lettering on the black bottle. That's it. Yeah, you can see the pale blue color of the writing here. That's what you want. You want it to be blue. If it's not blue, send it back. This is not vintage. If it's anything like this, send it back. Will you do a gorilla in the future, Victor Wong? Interference, yes, sir. It's a flat matte black tall cylindrical bottle with a silver wrap around chrome looking label with the name Giacomo. Wasn't too sure as I'm not in the know. So if you got the silver wraparound, you got a modern bottle. Send that shit back. Tell them to stop lying about vintage. Scent of the day, Le Leon. I'm losing faith. Doesn't project. What? Douglas, I'm shook right now. Le Leon doesn't project. That shit lasts like 18 hours on my skin. It literally lasts 18 hours on my skin. People smell me like across the street. What's your batch code? Mine is 5901. 5001. Dude, that's the craziest shit I've ever heard, Douglas. No gorilla in the works. Please make Homo sapiens fragrance. That's a great idea, Dushan. I love that idea. That's a fantastic idea, mate. Excuse me whilst my eye hydrates. Hey, if Victor doesn't want to come on, if anyone wants to come on and show me their collection, feel free to hop on, click the link. I'd love to see your collections. Great choice, by the way. The difference with the current one is huge, huge, gigantic, night and day. I was pissed when I bought this first. And once I found the vintage, literally night and day. My apologies. I didn't see your comment as well, but thank you. Also bought Quid Russi EDT, and when it came, I looked with a light, and it's the EDP. Those bastards. Send it back. Send it back, dude. It's funny. I was at Sempar last summer and wanted to catch up on some zoologists. I sprayed T-Rex in the corner, and man, did I cause a commotion. T-Rex is so huge. Maybe my last perfume. I love that idea, though, Dushan. Honestly. He robbed me, 120 for a vintage, but thankfully covered under Facebook Marketplace. Good. Send it back. Fuck them. Those less exclusives, EDTs, are hard to find. Yeah, I love Quid Russi. Has anyone tried Carven Homme? I never have, but I also heard it's close to Gucci Envy. Fat Electrician is a niche version of Tear, but not so good like Roja's Oligarch. Okay, thanks for that, Dushan. So you think it's do you think it's repetitive for me to own Fat Electrician? I would love Sycamore's on my to buy list. I want a bottle of the EDT really bad. Yes, a lot of shops ask customers to test T-Rex outside of the store. You get Tear and Fat Electrician. I didn't know that. I wasn't too familiar with vintage and the newer formulation and all. As I'm only 34, I just recently started collecting like 4 years ago. My fave is Aramis, but he robbed me. Yeah, you got to be careful. I mean, it's a learning experience, but yeah. Didn't they force Roja to change the name of Oligarch? I think he discontinued it. I think he just discontinued it straight out. I've got the Eau de Parfum, which they discontinued. The Eau de Parfum in preference of the XIII because, of course, it's double the price. Same amount of juice, double the price. Why wouldn't you make the XIII the only one people can buy? And then they discontinued the XIII after the whole Russian invasion of Ukraine, I think. At least I think they did. Let's look it up. Oligarch. Oligarch Parfum. It says it's still available for purchase. Let's go to rojaparfums.com. Pimping that Taif Oud. Let's search for it. Oligarch. Your search for Oligarch did not yield any results. Wow. Did I misspell it? Nope. Oligarch. Oligarch. Yeah, it's off the website. It's not on the website anymore. They've got that new Manhattan Eau de Parfum that they put out. And last year they put out Roja's Apex EDP and Roja Parfum Apex in the same year. They put out a Parfum version in the same year. I've got a sample of the EDP. I'll do a video on Apex soon. I have the newer version, unfortunately. Gucci Envy is fantastic. It is fantastic. I will second that with much vigor. Gucci Envy is fantastic. I'm just happy to have the little bit of juice that I have. It's a stunner. It's one of the best, one of my favorite designers. Here's a designer I could get behind. This is back when they knew how to make a designer perfume. The thing is 15, 20 years ago, designers are, go look at my top 10. It's filled with designers. Antaeus was a designer. Koros was a designer. M7 was a designer. Bellamy was a designer. So yeah. Yeah, it got discontinued because of the name. That's crazy. I can't believe they discontinued it. This was a great fragrance. I'm sad to see it go, actually. I really like this in the heat. It's like this fruity chypre. Beautiful. It's really beautiful in the heat. Rumors saying he's going to rebrand it. Okay. I did not know it was that strong. I did enjoy it. More like a personal scent I would wear while working late at my basement. Yeah, I know what you mean. You mean Roja Zell? Don't do it. Don't smell Dodo. I did Dodo yesterday. I hated it. I absolutely despise Dodo. It's probably my most hated zoologist right now. No offense, Victor. It's not for me. That body odor note was strong. You know what's funny is whenever I went to go let my wife smell the fragrances, she was like, I like that one. I was like, you like Dodo? I was like, you don't think it smells like Indian food? Damn, so serious. He smelled Dodo already like yesterday and hated it. I did. Eric's glad I hated it. Now he really trusts me. That's it. My trust is the new Dodo Jackfruit edition is so good. I guarantee it. Are you kidding me, Victor? You're putting out a Jackfruit edition. You have like 84 perfumes already. How do you keep up with all this? Gucci Envy, not easy to find. No, it is not. It is not easy to find for a fair price at all. At all. Yeah, I'm lucky to have the little bit that I have left. And a new one already. Yeah, Tiger's coming out soon. 350 euros in my Hungarian seller's house. Hey, y'all, what's your opinions about Houbigant Bois Mystique? I just smelled it for the first time. It's so nice. Never smelled it. Giorgio. I wore Silver Mountain Water to a bar once, and the woman next to me leaned over and told me she thinks she's smelling the feet of the guy next to her. What? I can tell you I've never gotten that reaction. Which Macau version do you sell more of, Apple or Yuzu? That's a good question. I have both. Maybe I'll do a comparison video. Maybe I can do that tomorrow for you guys. On one hand, I'll wear the Yuzu edition, and on the other hand, I'll wear the Fuji Apple edition and do a comparison video. Are they close enough that I could kind of both wear them as my scent of the day? Are they just slight differences, Victor? Yuzu sells more. Okay. The Yuzu edition. What gave you this idea of editions, Victor? just out of curiosity, because you have a lot of fragrances. And then when you add in the fact that there's like different versions, then there's, you know, I know the versions were probably just, you know, ingredients to get discontinued or whatnot, but what gave you the idea of doing like macaque, but then different versions, different editions? Where'd that come from? I'm okay with reviewers admitting a fragrance is good, but not for me. I'm okay with it true if it's the truth. It's when they're straight up lying for the dough. I heard Alpha M gets something like 30 grand per product mentioned on YouTube or Instagram. 30 grand? Holy shit. Maybe I will start shilling. You guys are going to pay me 30 grand to do that. I'm sure he's got like 17 billion subscribers though, right? I will buy 2 Balenciaga Pour Homme 30 ml bottles for 350 euros. Yeah, so would I actually if they were the big boys. I actually liked Ashton's Terra Nova. Smells like punchy citrus, almost like mango. Never smelled it. 3 houses I don't like: Mancera, Le Labo, and Joe Malone. I actually have no full bottles of any of them anymore. I sold my only Mancera that I had. I had a bottle of Cedrat Boisé and I sold it. I sent it to Moudasir to be sold. It was the vintage twist cap version. I'm sure that'll bring in an extra couple bucks. I trust only the people who buy stuff only with their own money. That's the way to go, honestly. Or if, you know, if a brand sends me stuff, I told Victor the same thing, because actually I didn't tell him that because he didn't send I didn't know he was sending me this until it just arrived. But the houses that sent me stuff, like for example, Papillon sent me a sample set. I told her I basically reserve the right to say whatever I want about it, good or bad, and that's just the way it's going to be. And Peter Carter sent me a sample set for Centauri. I said the same thing. And so, yeah, that's just basically what I say, that all opinions are my own and good or bad. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't want that, don't send it to me. Dodo is my least favorite. Mine too. I hated it. Smells like ammonia. Dirty cat litter. Trained noses agree. I did not like Dodo. Not a fan of Callan. Too weird. Never smelled it. I do own Callan, and I go through loving and hating it. One of the only fragrances I own that I keep changing my mind about. Interesting. Don't do that, Ram. Don't do what? PDM, more like PDL. Cow. I'm wearing Cow right now, Rachel. It's very pleasant. I can tell you that. I think I like Cow more than Koala. I mean, it's almost like this comforting apple pie milky thing, you know, this lactonic, you know, this lactonic apple pie milk. It's almost like a gourmand, but it's very wearable. You know, it's almost like a gourmand with slight, I'm getting slight green notes. Almost like you're smelling the grass that the cow is on as well, the pasture, not just the apple and the milk and stuff like that. I like it. I don't think I would want to wear it because it's not my kind of fragrance, but I like it. It's unique, but Elephant is my favorite from the bunch, I think. That dry down is stunning. What a dry down Elephant has. I can see why this was a finalist for the Art and Olfaction Awards 2018. Absolutely. This is beautiful. Elephant's probably full bottle worthy, to be honest with you. I've sniffed the whole line multiple times through, and Callan wins every single time. Wow. I've never smelled Callan. Hey now, Rams. Jeremy Fragrance has never sold out, only advertises what he likes. He even tells you that himself. And look at him now. He's doing great. He is doing great. I mean, hell, look how many. He's got over 1 million subscribers. He drives a Ferrari. He has his own fragrance brand. I mean, life's good for Jeremy Fragrance. First time reaction to Cow. Wow. I wouldn't say wow, but more like pleasant. Pleasant is a very good word for Cow. It's very pleasant. It's just nice, you know. I also got straight up cat piss from the original one from Dodo. Leather Tabak is very long lasting. The rose gives it a bit of a perfumery vibe, but the leather is the main player. I love it. Nice. That's that Zaharoff. You know, I own 0 bottles of Zaharoff. I've never done a fragrance, a video on them either. I have a sample of Zaharoff signature. Maybe I'll do one soon. It's been a while. I like talking about new brands. Don't forget your H2. Oh, that's right. Time to hydrate. Thanks for reminding me, Eric. Can we vote on your order for samples? I vote Mancera and PDM for 2015. I actually have a PDM I'm going to do a video on soon. Leighton exclusive. So buckle up, baby. You don't get many Mancera. I mean, fucking Mancera. I ain't got me saying Mancera. You don't get many PDM videos from Channel Ram, so cherish it. It's going to be fun. Eric, my least favorite PDMs are Godolphin, Callan, Galloway, and Pegasus. I have a second, actually. There will be a second Parfums de Marly. Almost dropped it. There'll be a second Parfums de Marly thanks to Scott from Germany, because he sent me a decant of come on, camera. Well, it says Godolphin, so take my word for it. Godolphin. So yes, this is the Tuscan leather clone. So there will be more Parfum de Marly content on the channel, guys. I know you can't wait. It's going to bring in all the newbies. My BFF says it smells like Wisconsin. I like Cow a lot and wear my full bottle to work often. It's a great fragrance for teachers. I get what you mean exactly. It's very there's a calming aspect to it. There's almost, you know, like this woo-saw, you know, just let the stress melt away. It's very calming, very it just has that relaxing, calming, but also comforting, because, you know, who doesn't like the smell of apple pie? I mean, there's this apple and milk, and yeah, it's nothing says thesaurus like fragrance blurb. Oh yeah, Jimmy and Randy. Jeremy will finish like Sid Barrett. The apple is especially nice. It is nice. I like Cow. I don't know how I feel about Koala. Now I'm getting a lot more of that soapiness. Geranium can come across very soapy sometimes, and I think that's what I'm getting here too. So yes, it's okay. It's not as bad as Dodo, I'll tell you that, which was also on this elbow yesterday, but it's okay. What makes me dislike Pegasus even more is the fact that Jeremy loves it. Jeremy. Eric, I like them, but Harrod and Percival and Sedley are my favorites. I do like Harrod, I must admit. I'm a sucker for osmanthus and tobacco and sweet tobacco. If you're going to give me sweet, mix it with tobacco. And I've never smelled Percival or Sedley, so sadly. PDM Sadly, what a great name. Sedley seemed mainstream to me. Yeah, I assume it would be. What do you do for work, Finance? Has anyone found a bottle of Pure Distance M? Me. I have a bottle. Sedley has to be worn in the summer, otherwise it is average. I'm sure it's average even in the summer, Boz. Is PDM hard to find, Antonio? Didn't they add Oud to the Leighton exclusive as well, if I'm not mistaken? Just curious. Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. Let's look it up. Leighton exclusive. They added Oud and Cypriol. Yeah. Oud and Cypriol. So it's supposed to be like a darker, more challenging version of Leighton from what I heard. So we'll see. The atomizer just smells like those molecules you're used to smelling in PDM, you know, those ambery things that you would expect to smell. I don't have very high hopes, but Pash, pay your bills for electricity or I will cut off your wires. You rock Sedley. I'll rock Beach Hut and Ramsey with sunshine. That's right. That's right. Hey, if you love it, wear it. Don't let anything we say stop you. Seriously. If you love a perfume, like Duncan said earlier, my nose is the only one I trust. Your nose is also the only one you'll ever have to smell through because no one else smells through your nose but you. So if you love it, wear it. Wear it. Oddly enough, I hate Leighton Exclusive. Ooh, that gives me some hope. Maybe I'll like it. I'm just kidding, Boz. I'm sure it'll be okay. I think Bosman is on a natural journey. You need to go through all the PDMs to develop your nose. Yes, exactly. You're exactly right. If you smell the good stuff too early, you might just not get what's up. It's a marathon, not a sprint. That's right, Palace. That's very well said, sir. Very well said. Dua made a clone of Great Britain and mixed with Pure Distance M called Distance to Britain. I like it. That's crazy. Dua's out of their damn mind. Does anyone want to come on and show off their collection for 15, 20 minutes before I got to go? I'd love to see some of y'all's collection. Palace, true. I hate the new formulation of Jack. I did too. I despised it. Actually, I was shocked at how bad this fragrance is. I was like, this is the fragrance they're hyping from the 80s. And then when I got a vintage bottle from Amouage, it was like, look, that beautiful Enchante sticker. It was like everything just clicked and made perfect sense. Elephant is definitely the winner. Yeah, oh, you're smelling along with us, right? Yes, I agree, Rick. Elephant's the winner. But Chameleon was very good as well. I like Chameleon. I wouldn't buy a bottle since I have a bottle of Kenzo Jungle Elephant. Beautiful bottle, by the way. Beautiful cap. And two beautiful perfumers, Dominique Ropion and Jean-Louis Suizac. I mean, perfume royalty right there. But I'm really liking Elephant. Elephant's full bottle worthy. This Chris Bartlett guy knocked it out of the park with Elephant. Well, I'd rather rock Gentle Uomo now, Eric. Bosman, are you coming to Serbia this spring or summer to give you some decants? Thought you said you were sending it to your cousin. Rick, the newer bottles I have in the flat black with the silver accent is nice. You can definitely tell it's an older vintage type scent, but it has that burning rubber. That burning rubber is terrible. I really hate that. If you're talking about Giacomo di Giacomo, that rubber plastic smell is so much different from. You say Gentle Uomo, I say Mitz Man. Yes, that's right. Just listen, Boz, do yourself a favor. Go buy yourself a bottle of Amouage Mitz Man that says Myths on the side. Don't get the one that says it here. Get the one that says Myths on the side. Look for it. Hunt it. I'm telling you, this will, oh man, this will season your nose, okay? This will tenderize your nose. You know when you get a good cut of meat, you got to tenderize it? This will tenderize your nose. This will wake you up to the world of fragrance as an art, okay? Fragrance as an art. Oh my God, I love this stuff so much. Pretty soon you'll be throwing out your Sedley and your Gentle Uomo. That's the one I got. There it is. Giacomo di Giacomo. I don't care for it. Got that burning rubber. Yes, it does. It has that burning plastic. I'm telling you, the vintage fixes that. You will understand why this was so hyped. This is a beautiful fragrance. Amazing vintage scent. Getting complimented on a zoologist would be a weird exchange. Oh my God, I love that fragrance you're wearing. What's it called? It's called Elephant, babe. They call me Elephant for a reason. What's your or anyone else's thoughts here on Aramis Tobacco Reserve? Love it. Just curious, as I know it's discontinued. I recently found a 60 mil for 78. Get it. Get it. It's going for 200 plus on eBay. We looked the other day, Jimmy, and they were $200. They were $200 to $300 on eBay. This is the 110 mil. You can see I put a pretty damn good dent in my bottle. I love this stuff. It's one of my favorite tobaccos. One of my favorite designer tobaccos because normally I don't like sweet fragrances, but here it's just done so well, man. And there's like this black currant. I'm trying to recall from memory. There's this black currant, Tonka, and what was the other note? There's another note in Aramis Tobacco Reserve. Aramis Tobacco Reserve. Ah, yes, clary sage, nutmeg, and oak moss, and iris. Iris is the note that makes this fragrance for me because iris just rounds it out. It makes it feel three-dimensional. You know, it takes kind of a flatter fragrance and adds walls and sides and, you know, corners and roofs, and it just turns it into the entire house. It's amazing. I love Aramis Tobacco Reserve. And there's a little bit of sweetness, like modern sweetness. Like you could easily wear this today out and about, and no one would think twice about, you know, about what you were wearing. Scent of the day was Thamine Carved Oud on the shoulders, Guerlain L'Homme Extreme on the arms, and Aaron Terrence Hughes Oud on the clothes. YOLO. I've never smelled Thamine Carved Oud. I've never smelled a Thamine. It's on the list. Fat Electrician starts off with a whipped cream accord. Similar to the whipped cream in yesterday's Haze by Imaginary Authors, then evolves into an addictive vetiver. Never smelled it. Ace of Souls. Barcelona Bosman. I ordered a travel spray of Manhattan and included is a 2 ml sample of Taif Oud. Ah, I've never smelled Manhattan. Let me know what you think. Been there already? Maybe Malaga this time? Like that ice cream? Like the stream? Lick the stream? They say food is better in the South. Wonder if the rumored Roja Epstein... Oh, Mike. My God, dude. My goodness. It is interesting, though, how that list just all of a sudden got buried, you know, of all the people that visited that island, right? They'll probably take this stream down for even saying that. I'm losing respect for Roja. Just buy originals. Yeah, I'm with you. Although I do really like Roja virtue signaling. Fuck them. I'm with you. I'm not for the virtue signaling at all. Like, you had a perfume called Oligarch. It has nothing to do with anything. Oligarchs go back hundreds of years. Just who gives a shit, you know? If I was Roja, I would not have discontinued this at all. There was no need. Ridiculous. No offense, but I didn't like Dodo when I tested. I actually got that avian feathery smell. I hated Dodo. Go watch my review from yesterday. I despised it. It is easier to find Gucci than fake Gucci. I'm actually impressed with some Dua Roja clones. They're damn close and worth it. That's crazy. Famous YouTuber. But I trust your nose. So, Bois Mystique is great. Very woody. Never smelled it. Gucci or Capucci? The question now. Which ones? Honestly, want to see how close some of these Duas are. I bet the additions are different submissions and both smell good and needed to be released. Interesting. That's a good take. Interference. I bet you're right. Bois du Portugal. Yeah, it's very good. Alpha M is even doing actual commercials on TV now. Wow, that's crazy. I don't even know who that is, but that's nuts. I only have Distance to Britain. Great Britain, Pure Distance M mashed up. It's great. Feels like a Roja. I love Great Britain. How can you not like Mancera? Some of the scents, their scents like vanilla. Rose's vanilla smells amazing. I don't like the brand. I don't like, I think he can't blend. And he actually has a very shady history. Like his name's not Pierre Montal. Pierre Montal's not his original name. It was something else. He actually got sued in French court for copying another fragrance. Do you know how close to, like, all you have to do is change one thing and they can't sue you for it. He got sued in French court for copying another fragrance on a previous brand. There's a whole story behind it. and he changed his name afterwards, and it was just a whole thing. I just don't like him or the brand. So how many perfumers are in your chat, Rams? That's a good question. How many perfumers are in the chat? And why won't anyone join my stream? I've dropped the link like 3 times. I got to go now, but next time I want some people to join and show off their collections. Don't be shy. Today I got a sample of Diptyque Tam Dao, sheer disappointment. That's weird because Encre Noir is a vetiver and Tam Dao is a sandalwood fragrance. Which one did you get? Just out of curiosity, which one did you get, Omar? Did you get the Eau de Toilette or did you get the Eau de Parfum? So I think that Diptyque Tam Dao, that there's no real sandalwood in it, personally. Maybe there's a drop. I don't know. But to me, it smells like a completely synthetic sandalwood. But it's well done. It's a well-done sandalwood if you're going for that accord. I wouldn't get a full bottle, but a little travel decant's nice to have. I'll do a video on it one day. I've got the Eau de Parfum. I've never smelled the Eau de Toilette, though. But I heard great things about Roja Diaghilev clone. Never smelled it. I also have a clone of Bai from Dua that smells quite accurate. Interesting. Stay away from Dua, Alexandria, and other clone houses. They just can't get anything right. Yeah, I don't own a single Dua. I do have a couple Alexandria fragrances that I was just curious about. So what's your and all your other guys' your opinion on these newer indie houses, whether it be cloning indie houses or their own creations, and what's some of your favorites if you do like them indie? So I think of indie houses as like Areej Dore, which I talked about today as my scent of the day with Indolis, right? Areej Dore, you know, something like Ensar Oud. That's an indie house. That's the way I think of indie. Slumber House, Bortnikov. Those are indie houses to me, right? Ensar Oud. I can't wait to wear this. This is a brand new bottle to my collection. Probably one of my favorite Ensars I've ever smelled, this EO1. So yes, it's that's the way that I view them. I like them. I think go check out my thoughts on Indolis. I did an early impression. After this, you can go watch the video. So I'm about to sign off soon. 2.5 hours is usually as long as my throat will give me. But I think they do things that the small houses will never do. Like Russian Adam left me a couple voicemails on WhatsApp yesterday explaining the process with Indolis and how you know, they use this ancient technique of basically letting the petals of the jasmine sit in this wax, and it just kind of takes, they don't use any solvent. They didn't use any heat. So there was no like distillation from heat or anything like that. So just the things that they're willing to do and try are just so different from what you get usually in the mainstream, you know. And for lovers of the art of perfume, there's very few places else to go than things like Areej Dore. I mean, you could spend $1,000 on a Roja, but Roja doesn't feel like he's doing the things that Areej Dore or Ensar or Bortnikov are doing to me. I think that's the kind of the peak for somebody who loves perfume, unless you're going to go to vintage. The way forward is in the past for me. You'd be shocked how amazing vintage fragrances are for both men and women. So if you don't love oud, like I've really come to fall in love with oud, although I'm not a true oud head like some people are. You know, I couldn't name the different types, and you know, there's a million names for all the different types of oud. You have to go to the past. Vintage is the way to go. Even the vintage women's fragrances, women's and men's fragrances from the past are amazing. But Diaghilev is already a clone. That's right. A clone of a clone of a clone. Elephant is great. Still my favorite from the line. You will love Sacred Scarab Interference. It's really good. Elephant is shockingly good, though. I can't believe how good it is. Yeah, I heard he's off the rails too, but it keeps people talking about him. Elephant is big. I'm not too fond of Initio or Amouage. I don't like Initio, but I love Amouage. But you got to go to the old. That's the thing, is if you're newer and all you smelled is their new stuff, I don't think you'll like it. You have to go find the vintage bottles. You got to go buy the older versions. I don't find Diaghilev at close. I think it's close to a mixture of Mitsuko, Rochas Femme, Azure, which I've talked about on the channel many a times, and just a hint of Bandy thrown in there. I sprayed Bandy yesterday when I did my 1940s video. What a perfume this is, man. Oh my God. It is so, so good. If you like Diaghilev, you have to try Bandy. They're different, obviously, but there's little bits. It's a old school leather chypre. Duncan thinks Diaghilev seems closer to Youth Dew. Wow, I've never heard that one. Youth Dew to me smells like opium for women. Duncan, don't compare older Mitsuko with newer Diaghilev and vice versa. Heard Elephant smells like Bella Respiro. I have never smelled Bella Respiro. Sorry. Yeah, never smelled it. When it comes to PDM, I own 4 Calon Leighton, Sedley, and Pegasus exclusive. So far, the one I wear the most is Sedley, but I mainly wear it when it's warm out. Yeah, I've never smelled any of those. Oh, wait, I do own Leighton, but I've never smelled Sedley, Calon, or Pegasus exclusive. Pegasus is a sweet almondy PDM. It's like a guilty pleasure for me. Ah, nice. I only have that same Mitsuko that Ramsey has, older EDT. It's very good, isn't it? Sedley is my favorite fragrance name ever. What? Sedley's your favorite fragrance name? Over the greats like Le Bleu, Mitsuko, Shalimar? It's just the camera setting, brother. Mitsuko is actually a Japanese name. Go look up the origin of Mitsuko. I think Mitsuko came from a Japanese word that was Mitsuku. And I think they switched the U for an O at the end. It's something like that. The story is around a Japanese a guy who's in the Japanese Navy, if memory serves. Oh God, if they do the exceptional cologne of Sunshine, I'm gonna be. I mean, they're gonna do something stupid. It's gonna be Jubilation Extract or something like that. My guess is Jubilation is gonna be one of them because they've watered that shit down so hard. Now they got people clamoring for the extra, like the people that came to the party late. And they're like, well, I missed out on the old bottles of Jubilation 25. So what do I do now? I'll just buy the exceptional cologne at double or triple the price, you know? Just a scumbag move by the fish man. Let's just water down the regular one so bad that people complain about the performance lasting a couple hours and then put out the double or triple price exceptional cologne. Bullshit, man. Pisses me off. She was Japanese, that's right. Hey, Margie Noir, good to see you. You need to do a top 3 zoologist. Well, right now, top 3 zoologists, just off the top of my head, would be Sacred Scarab, Camel, and maybe this elephant. This elephant's really good. Although I really like Moth. I have a full bottle of Moth, and I really like that Nightingale that you are interested in purchasing. Once I get my perfume room set up, I will come on and show you. Ah, nice. That'll be great. I would love that, Margie. That's right. She's 100. So safe to assume that Ramsey is an Amouage man? Yes, but an old Amouage man. I don't like what the new guy has done to Amouage. The green notes and elephant remind me a little of Noma Goodsir Nuit Bakelite. Never smelled that one, Rick. Never smelled that. That's the tuberose fragrance, right? I want to order some Amouage from Fragrance Net, but I need to call and ask them if the name is on the side. They won't tell you. They'll say, sorry, we don't have access to the warehouse. Amouage is serious stuff, but Journey Man was a letdown for me. I love Journey Man. Did you get a new one? Just out of curiosity, does it say Journey on the front or on the side? George Zaharoff is awesome. I see him commit back and forth with him on Ross, TLGT, and Juan Fat Boy Fragrances all the time. He's such a down-to-earth man, and yeah, he is very down-to-earth. I really like George Zaharoff as a person. Those Tobacco Reserve 100 mils were $25 at TJ Maxx. I know, right? It's insane. They're going for $300 on eBay now. George Z is a true gentleman. Yes, he is. They got a 30 mil at mom and pop shop in a plastic container for $45 or 100 mil $95, but I don't know how old it is. I do love that release though, and should have bought more bottles. I remember the last sniff of Journey's sample. It's really good. Just didn't register for me. I love the Cypriol in it. Cypriol tobacco, Neroli. Why do I have to say Aramis twice? Can't just say it once. Aramis. Well, because the original for men was called Aramis. If you say it 3 times, it'll show up like Bloody Mary. Zaharoff Pour Homme is my favorite. I have a sample of that, I think, or maybe it's Signature. I can't remember. I'll do a video on one of the Zaharoff soon. Miss Noir. We are all traumatized after Mike V's comments. Ram, is that Miss Man a 1.7? Yes, it is. It's a 50 mil. I took your advice and got 30 mils of Clive Christian X. Nice. I like it. It's one of my favorite Clive Christians. One of my favorite Giza Schoens outside of Kinski by Kinski. Eric, if you have tastes like mine, okay, I know you're new to the channel, but listen, if you have tastes like mine, go hunt down a bottle of Kinski by Kinski, Kinski. It's discontinued. If you can find a bottle of that, I'm telling you, I absolutely adore that stuff. I want to back up. It's so good. Also, before you trash Le Labo, please smell Le Labo Elaine 49. Awesome. I'm not trashing Le Labo. I love, well, I couldn't say I love, but I like Santal 33 more than most. I just haven't smelled very many Le Labos. So I would love to explore more of the line, but I'm not going to give them the money they want for those. Someone's going to have to send me samples, or I got to get on the free bottle Le Labo train. You can call me Jimmy. Juan and Ross and Cannoli and everyone else in the community finally figured out I'm the Jimmy and Randy. Long story. Ex-wife never changed the name. Oh, it's a funny history, actually. There's more to it, too. I think he also screwed his business partner over whenever they launched, I think, Mancera or Montal together. And something happened. He ended up screwing his business partner out of the deal somehow. Have you ever smelled Narcotica by Narcot? I've never even heard of that. Paris de Petit. Petit de Petit. No, I never even heard of Narcotica. Have you tried Dane by Art? I've never smelled an Argos. Do you all keep track of your collections on Fragrantica? And if so, how do you keep track of the samples you have in your testing? I actually use Parfumo. And on Parfumo, if you click on collection, you can click either I have it, or you can click decants, or you can click wish list, or miniature, or I had. And so that's how I keep track of my collection that way. But I actually keep like a personal Excel spreadsheet of what I wear. So every single day, what I wear, the house, how many times I've worn it since I started keeping track, stuff like that. I have about half a bottle left, very close to the top for me of ELDs, even though it's not in Oud. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. It was very good. I got EDP, synthetic cypress, and isoisu. It is synthetic for sure, 100%. 100% synthetic. Indolis is creamy, smooth, almost ambery, if I remember. Wilma seems more indolic. The name, that's his wife's name. Willima, yeah. Ace of Soul, I personally do keep track of my collection on fragrancing. However, I typically do not keep track or pay any attention to the forward testing section. Never really had to test what I wear. Yeah, I know what you mean. Initio is crap. It is. I hate Initio. Don't hurt Mancera's feelings now. Yeah, don't hurt Pierre Montal's feelings. That's too bad. I love Journey. I love Journey Man. I love that combination of fresh neroli mixed with that tobacco, and the Cypriol in here is wonderful. One of my favorite Cypriol fragrances of all time. The other one being Frederic Malle Promise. And actually, this is a really good Cypriol too. Silver Oud. Roja's Taif Oud is a huge Cypriol. Mitsuko means magic. Yeah, I just have to get a reflector screen. It'll be fine eventually. I just need to do it. Oh, that's it. Oh, Mike, dude, you're spot on, bro. Tony Iommi is the greatest fragrance name ever. Oh, yeah, just the greatest collab of all time. Monkey special, monkey special. I can't believe you have a non-magnet. I'm so jealous of that, Dushan. I returned my open bottle of Juby 25 to the retailer. I was so disappointed. 10 minutes and it's gone. Because you're getting the new stuff, dude. Old Jubilation used to last a day. It used to last to your next shower. You used to have to take an industrial hose to it. Okay? You used to have to like literally take an industrial hose to get it off. So yeah, it's just they've ruined it. Wow, that's a good rec, GMG. Let me think on that. I don't know who Alpha M. I don't watch other YouTube. So yeah, man. I kind of do my own thing. In case one thing you'll learn about me is I do my own thing. Like I don't give a shit what other people say or do, or if there are certain people I watch and certain people I'm completely oblivious to. But I got to run soon. I was trying to catch up on the comments. Best showstopper. I don't know. It depends on who I'm trying to stop. Honestly, like as much as you guys might laugh and it might make you laugh, but like if I wear this to work, my vintage bottles of Aventus, you have no idea how many compliments I get from women. Women love Aventus on me for whatever reason. But if I'm trying to wear something that's like maybe challenging, and I love stuff like Koros and Antaeus, I love leathers, Bel Ami. That's a good shout, Dushan. Teatro alla Scala is a beauty. I bought Rich Mitch's Kinski a month ago, and I'm trying to work out what I'm smelling. It's amazing. It is absolutely stunning. I can't believe he sold it. I can't believe he sold Kinski. Oh my God. I am so happy for you that you got that, Nick. What a grab, dude. Congratulations. I love it. All right, I got to run. I wish I could catch up on these comments, but I think, actually we're close. Let's catch up. Teatro alla Scala is in Milano. Good evening. Scent of the day, Fahrenheit. Beauty, Fosco. Been enjoying my sample of Journey Man, but it wasn't enough to make me want a full bottle. Memoir Man did. I know what you mean. Have you tried Juice Box perfumes? I have some samples coming. So we'll do another one of these yeah, we'll do another one of these live stream, test new things, and we'll do 3 at a time. I've got I've got Black Powder, which is the Kurt Cobain one. That's the one I'm most excited to try. I've got Siren and Sailors, which I think this is the Amy Winehouse one. I've got No Rules. I have no idea who that one is. Micro Love, Livin' Loud, and Golden Serenade. So yeah, we'll do 3 one day and like 3 next. And I've never talked about this brand on the channel. I've never smelled these, so I have no clue the quality. Maybe in the future for Journey, though, you never know how you'll feel when a sample runs out. Yes, that's right. Sold my non-magnetic cap Juby. I only like, oh, I can't believe you didn't sell that to me, Duncan. How dare you, sir? If anyone has a non-magnetic cap Juby for sale, hit up the Ram. The non-removable caps of Navitus are the best. Yeah, you don't want to smell it. A Ventus. I have older Bois du. I have Fragrance Du Bois New York Intense as an alternative to Jubilation. I really am not a fan of Fragrance Du Bois. Jubilation, I have plastic cap version, lasts all day, but more blackberry, less frankincense. The first re-release magnetic cap had a lot of frankincense. That's the one that I have. I'm pretty sure it's the one that I have. Where'd it go? Here it is. Yes. It's a beauty, man. Look, there's no name on the front or the side of mine. So yeah, I think you're right. I think this is one of the earlier re-release. So good. Oh, I love it. Yep, everyone's saying goodnight. If possible, try Cheeky Smile from, yeah, I don't have that one. I mean, if someone sends it to me, I'll talk about it, but I don't have it in the list. And I have so many perfumes to talk about. Probably wouldn't hunt that down, but I appreciate everyone being here. It's been a hell of a stream. I hope you guys, like and comment and all the stuff the algorithm tells you to do, because it does help bring more people in. People like Bosman, and love seeing the new faces here. There's a lot of new faces tonight. So I hope you guys appreciated these. I'm losing my voice. Let me know what your favorite zoologists are from this, and we'll catch you next time. Cheers. Bye now.